to be conferred upon you. And because you came on the day of honor to celebrate and to honor the servant of the Lord, may you be honored. May you wear the crown of double honor. And for all the days of your life, let no man, let no woman, let no demon, let no one great or small dishonor you. For all the days of your life, the Lord renew you in strength, and let grace be extended unto you. Let mercy abound towards you, and let your strength and your days be multiplied. And be as an eagle, soar as an eagle, roar as a lion. Kadula kawasala, hey, yetukum silima tala. And above all, anyone that strive with us and contend with us at the gate of authority, at the seat of power, anyone who strive and contend with your people, Heavenly Father, exercising divine authority, anyone that takes our name and our picture to a shrine, to an altar for evil, let it backfire on them. Let it backfire in the name of Jesus. Anyone that speak ill and evil of your people, let their tongue be silenced. Let their tongue cleave to the root of their mouth. Anyone that speak evil of us, let their voice be discredited and silenced. Discredited and silenced. Anyone that imagine ill or evil of us by divine authority on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, according to the scriptures, as this is written, I command, let it boomerang, boomerang, boomerang. Put translate and say boomerang, 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 boomerang. We intercept the waster. We waste the waster. We oppose opposition. In the name of Jesus, we resist the resistor. Thank you, Lord. As you live here, I declare you will not be wasted. Let the waster be wasted. Let every opposition be opposed. Let every resistance break. Live here with the upper hand. Have dominion. And now we send the blood of Jesus to your father's house, to your mother's house, to your background. Anything that lifts up his head against you, in the name of Jesus, we ground it in the blood of Jesus. We ground it in the name of Jesus. Above all, any condition, pattern and cycles that are contrary to the will of God, to the word of God, to the plan of God for your life, today on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, we intercept it. Put on and say interception, interception, intercept, interception, interception, interception. We intercept, intercept, intercept contradiction. We intercept contradiction. We command you in the name of Jesus as more than a conqueror. Tell somebody, I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Tell two people, I declare that you are more than a conqueror.
Tanumo onunchoni ha o dama chiechele wekun wani anuchumo osole moji ake ubawo nani aya baba shosho amen.
Yeah, that's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries won't not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. On the way. Beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. There are beautiful clouds, where you are, where you charger. Bye bye, anyway, I didn't want to. Kakali kaya so inaya sa umawane pe. Bye bye, anyway, I didn't want to. Kakali kaya so inaya sa umawane pe. Gano dende, blasta so dende. 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 Yeita mubi oba na batene samia. Ya chaja mubi oba na batene samia. Yeita mubi oba na batene samia. Ya chaja. I bet the bill in the money, I need Jan in the money. I say, go fin the money, I say, move Jan in the money. Winter in the money, and Stevie Nappy and the money. Robert Mesa, goalkeeper number 1. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo bialo. Yeita mubi oba na batene samia. Ya chaja mubi oba na batene samia. Yeita mubi oba na batene samia. Ya chaja. I bet the bill in the money, I need Jan in the money. I say, go fin the money, I say, move Jan in the money. Winter in the money, and Stevie Nappy and the money. Robert Mesa, goalkeeper number 1. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo biala. The boy, a beshe, you sulo bialo. Yeita mubi oba na batene samia. Ya chaja mubi oba na batene samia. Mubi oba yeita mubi oba mubi oba ya chaja mubi oba na batene samia. Mubi oba yeita mubi oba so batene samia. Mubi oba ya chaja.
Supporters, are you here? Yeah. Ghana supporters, are you here? Yeah. Give us a feel of what is to be expected when you touch down in Canada, when you touch down in the United States of America. The next 5 minutes is yours.
circle. That's where the people are, the people are. Bayera, good evening. What point? What can I support you, Ghana? Eh? Ghana. What's supporting Ghana? It's Ghana versus Panama Beshai. Ghana and Panama Beshai.
Oh, my 3 because Ghana for my 3.
Who got people? Hey, sorry. You're better. Yeah, but I'm from Mike and Wolf. Mike was Mike now through. Change. Don't go be our castle. Hey, wait, I'm trying to get somebody to speak to us. Change. What's it? Young Pedro.
I'm Pedro.
Young Pedro. Don't go there. You pay win. You pay 3-point win. Hey, yeah. Hey, no, mommy, pa. I don't know Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana.
I don't win.
Oh, first match there. Mubenya draw.
Aya, oba se nton bare mani biem. Oba se a nton bare mani biem ne last ani. Ne come ne onko South Africa for joint no onko to Johnny. Ah, na ma ye pese.
Fit penny, we any chances. Fit.
Ghana for shine. Ghana for ebe
Oh, we there, pa. Oh, me there batch we dey be hope say ebe she. Ah, Charlie.
Munya fever. Ase sia obi.
Oh, we there ebe she. Ebe ko ye ni bad.
Ntusha. Ghana ebe shine. First game ebe shine.
Ebe she 2-1.
Yeni England ebe shine.
Ebe she e a draw.
Ana yeni Croatia ebe shine.
Oh, hope for the omo name more di o. Ara.
I shall not
Oh, for the omo name more di.
But at least say yeni Panama 2-1. That's it mean boy England draw. Now it mean ni Croatia cry draw cry na start your calculation. You say Ghana for calculation. Say we should not here for the point. Your say your draw versus.
You say your faith was sure. You say your faith was sure. Until Mamu disappointed. And in fact, yeah. Ball Pangana for you need. You need football. How until yes, Ramo Mamu disappointed this year. Cry. Why you cry, Mama Rosa? Me pamucho. I feel no disappointment. Yes, sir. We need them so. He said, Jesse, nobody in the just to support you guys, please. Yes, sir. More.
What to be? Have you bought some?
Oh, me to be, but me person meto. Yeah, I'm a friend, so me need you home.
They now pay. What's some more white one in the yellow one?
Yellow one, I'm a fan.
Move your brother. What? Move your
brother.
Your brother say you're gonna be also be issue.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real.
Oh, yeah, Judy was Rafi.
Yeah. Remember no boy for 1 pound now your fine boy pound.
Oh.
One fine boy pound. Jordan, are you use semenyo eh?
Oh no, Sardino.
Semenyo.
Oh, that be first one no.
Jordan, are you?
No, we have for pound.
Oh, crash on.
Ready?
I've no bon. They say about circle. Yeah, for instance, a quick check on people. I mean, how are they enjoying the World Cup? That's why I was watching and I ready, pal.
My ready, Abroso.
Osha. You see, right now I'm just a bit concerned. I'm hearing that Thomas Partey has not been given visa to Canada. It looks like one way or the other he could be affected. And once he's affected, the team also be affected, right?
Yeah. Exactly. You know, what I've seen is England is doing everything to make sure Partey will not play.
Hey, so you think it's England?
Yes, even if Partey will play, you know, all those booing and stuff, you know, it will affect the guy. You get it? Me, I know that England is influencing Canada. Oh yes. Oh, that is what I think.
Oh, that's the truth, or that's what you think?
Oh, that is what I think. I'm not saying, oh, that is what, you know, I know. That is what I think. You know, I'm human, so I can think anyhow. You know, England is doing everything to make sure Partey won't play well or will not take part of the the game between Ghana and England. You get it? So, any mafia things on betting me. So me, it's not surprising to me, but you know, what is there? Scientists what is there? Again, na pate eni anase again na Ghana your friend say eni a obeka say o ma pate visa.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Somebody has said again pa pate no omu omu gina so a omu ka kire omu ka kire Ghanaians say e ma pate visa. Because ento asum the idea way ento asum. You get it?
Yeah.
So me feel say England for na the mafia way. That is what I think. Somebody has said.
But
it won't stop anything. Yeah. And your pattern you get it. You better decided to bench Pate, even we will play and play better. Oh,
I'm coming. Give me score line. Ghana versus Panama.
Ghana versus Panama.
Score line.
2-1.
Ghana versus
Panama.
Ghana versus England.
Ghana versus England. 1-1.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ghana versus Croatia.
1-1.
Now, if you play 1-1, you qualify.
Oh, we qualify.
Your ball.
You're saying at 3 points. Your ball draw.
Any calculations be as usual calculations.
Calculation be any hobby. Me say Ghana be qualify. Ghana be qualify.
£4.
Oh, that be.
But which of the stages be stage be?
What's your best stage?
Yes, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals.
Ghana be making surprises. You be queen him. Yes. I mentioned what there. Your friend is saying, Obia nim say, PSG koto wiase players nyina. Okoto Messi, okoto Neymar, okoto no Sawo Mbappe, okoto Cavani, okoto Di Maria mu. Wiase stars nyina no mutimi nje Champions League. But emra stars we nyina free. Your friend is saying, free PSG no. And PSG star ben. Hi. Imagine say Obia free say Ghana your team no emu nyedu because Kudus pra Duku pra and away pra. Me say team a etesa no very dangerous.
Because Obia ni abre.
E very dangerous. Ye match any Wolves boy. Who's second half? You're botching because in Kuala and the starting game. No. So the pace was very intensive. So what I said, coach, you know, me say technically, coach, you know, for the first time I coach be a Ghana team, you handwriting on the team. And coach Carlos Krios.
When did you coach no pound?
I'm bandi. Be a chairman say, coach, you know, obey Juma. On your time, obey Juma. So what I said, me say, coach, you know, after wake up on Kran, I see a man opportunity because master, your man go for 3 years, you still are you writing on the team. Obi be fat team, only one match. Now Otuado no came now, Uncle Otuado. Messi change Kran anything. Change anything. Or both sets in an area upon on my place chance 2 minutes, 3 minutes. By way, on Mobia chance me who said boys and so Mama Ghana Nibia Yamuseno may say wake up we Ghana bet me making surprises. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Listen, let's try and go inside.
Sam Snake, Joker.
Winners, go bounce, winners, so you go dance, winners, so we go come together, yeah. As the people know and love, it is love, no shade. Hey, one more say, I will find a way home, find a way home, find a way home, find a way home. I will
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is the 17th of June 2026. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad that we're back again to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in Nigeria, country, Ghana. But also do know that today, the 17th of June, is a very, very exciting and a very important day. It's also a sporty day. It's a Black Stars Day. The Black Stars are coming up against Panama. So you can tell, you can see, almost everybody is wearing a Black Stars jersey. I'm wearing mine today, yes. Well, somebody gifted this to me, so I'm not going to tell you how much it was. I bought it because it was a gift, free. Thank you very much. The person doesn't want me to mention his or her name. The person wants to remain anonymous. But anyways, thank you very much. The person knows themselves. And so, yes, so today is a big day. The Black Stars are coming up against Panama. Almost every Ghanaian, let me put it that way. I mean, some Ghanaians can't be bothered, but yes, most Ghanaians really can't wait. 11 p.m. today in Canada, the Black Stars are going against Panama. And we're very optimistic that Black Stars will win this game. Cautiously, in my case, I don't know about you, but cautiously though. Unfortunately, Thomas Partey is not going to play because he didn't succeed in that court case. He couldn't convince the Canadian authorities, judiciary, for him to be allowed, even if it's just a few days to play that game. But be that as it may, we will still beat Panama. We're confident, we're positive, we're very optimistic about that. Anyway, so there'll be a lot of conversation about the Black Stars today, even before our team, our Ignite Sports team, who have received some plaudits and commendations from around the world. They're doing such a fantastic job, aren't they? The likes of Michael Odro, Ebenezer Mamuzu, and the rest of you. Fantastic, fantastic job. You've covered this World Cup event like nobody else's business. It's been so, it's been top notch. But anyway, so they'll be joining us 9:45 for us to talk about a bit more about the Black Stars. But let me say that welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. And thank you once again for joining the show, where we were airborne, or we've been airborne from 7 a.m. and we're going all the way, hopefully to 10:30 when the World Cup season. And so we're defying management. We're going to 10:30. Yes, that's what this one management. Please bear with us. 10:30 is Black Stars. It's World Cup. So yes, we still have we need some more time to talk about the World Cup. Anyway, let me just say that the papers are here, and I'll start with the Daily Graphic, and it says World Bank approves $300 million to end SHS double track system. Digital fraud eroding public trust in financial systems, according to Stanbic CEO. There's Graphic Business and Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting. Vigilance critical to tackle digital fraud, according to panelists. 80% of Ghana's children under 5 poor. Wow, that's serious. And underserved. That's with today's Daily Graphic. The Ghanaian Times this morning says the government commits 1 million cedis to National Research Fund to drive innovation and growth. There's GMC to establish first manganese refinery in Nsuta. Project to create 5,000 jobs. The stock market listing is long-term partnership, not just fundraising. NPRA boss. Black Stars open campaign today, and there's U.S. court grants Oforiatta residency amid an extradition battle. Daily Guide says the government plot $85 million Afari Hospital payout, according to Minority. There's a Oforiatta secures U.S. green card. Lean government doesn't add up for taxpayers. NPP holds edge for 2028 win. That's according to Mr. Paul Afoko. Amrahia Dairy Farm residents protest property demolition. Stock listing our partnership, not cash grabs, NPRA boss. The Insight this morning says xenophobic attacks in SA. Parliament demands continental action. Insists Africa cannot turn against its own. Healthcare governance, administrative authority and patient welfare. Reflections from the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital episode. There's Amrahia Dairy Farms residents protest over alleged unlawful demolition of homes, church buildings. Over 458,000 children miss school due to child labor in Ghana. That's according to Charge. Government distributes fertilizers drones to boost Feed Ghana program. As labor creates wealth, how the capitalist class states are reducing billionaires to the detriment of the poor working class. That's according to Class. The Herald this morning says the MPP's rule of law and accountability stance is double-faced. The defense Sedina Tamaklo Atiunu's conviction, but quiet on Ken Oforiatta. Tokone removal controversy ends with Sophia Kufu's departure. Mahama probe rebuts abuse of single sourcing big push road contracts. Kennedy Ejipon tells Minority who to fault over stalled Afari Military Hospital project. Ghana targets foreign investment through 2026 FIFA World Cup Business Forum. The Accra Times. Ahead of 2028 elections, Afoko Markets Baumia says he possesses experience in national appeal. Team of whom Ghana touches 99 lives through free surgeries to mark 10th anniversary. Presidency clears Roads Ministry over big push procurement allegations. Launching of Parliament and EU Education Series. Speaker urges more youth participation. Nigeria wins $10,000 grand prize at ECOWAS Cybersecurity Hackathon. Ghana Gas pays courtesy call on MPA CEO. On the Supreme Court's 150th anniversary, Bagbin pledges Parliament support. The Ghanaian publisher Jinapo exposes lean government lies amid a ballooning expenditure. Goldboard Partners Armed Forces Forestry Commission to reclaim Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. Church raises red flag as Chinese developer invades property. NPRA CEO Lords GSE reforms as Kasapreko joins stock market. Published Sophia Kufu's letter, Amidu, to Mahama. The Ghanaian publisher, the name is not Amindu, it's Amidu. Yes, to Mahama. The News Center this morning is reporting that Goldboard begins 36 million cedis reclamation covering 50 out of 200 hectares of degraded Tano in Nimri forest lands. Good governance key to attracting pension funds, according to NPRA boss. Broja Jemfi $85 million Afari Hospital balance claim criminal, according to Minority. Ghana card is key to socio-economic transformation. Government allocates 100 million cedis to support National Research Fund. The Custodian. NPP blows alarm over attempt to free Sedina Tamaklo. Published Sophia's resignation letter now. Martin Amidu tells Mahama. Afari Military Hospital, Minority flags NDC's create, loot and share $85 million agenda. There's Goldboard Partners GAF Forestry Commission to reclaim 50 hectares in Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. Daily Post. Permanent residency granted Oforiatta by U.S. Immigration Court does not clear him of extradition process, according to OSP. Goldboard Partners Ghana Armed Forces Forestry Commission to reclaim 50 hectares of degraded areas in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. And as Kennedy Ejipon chid NPP for failing to complete Afari Military Hospital after 8 years in office. Government commits 100 million cedis to kickstart National Research Fund. Thomas Partey ruled out of Ghana's World Cup opener after losing Canada appeal. And then you have the Business and Financial Times that says green finance ambitions risk failure, according to ESS, if environmental degradation continues unchecked. BOG eyes investment-linked remittance product. Amenfiman Community Bank shareholders approve capital increase to over 100 million cedis. Profit after tax rises to 154.9 cedis. And as deposits hits 2.3 billion cedis. GCB Bank and Visa expand collaboration to deliver smarter customer-centric payment solutions. And there's BOG eyes investment-linked remittance product. And there's also businesses must prioritize reskilling to stay competitive. My Joy Online this morning is reporting that 2026 World Cup, Ghana fails in bid to have a party's Canada visa denial overturned. In Fansipim SHS final year students commit suicide. There's extending retirement age could delay opportunities for youth by up to 7 years, according to Snate Boss. The City Newsroom says Ghana Cote d'Ivoire agreed to harmonize cocoa producer prices. One dead in crash involving stationary truck at Akwaje Interchange. Ghanaians are rooting for you, Professor Pokwajiman tells Black Stars. Ghana Web this morning says from Tokono to Eniniabwa, there's 3 options for Mahama to choose Sophia Kufu's replacement. And there's from legality to market recognition, building confidence in tropical timber supply chains. And as Aoli said, he's okay. This one, you don't need this in there this morning. NDC's 24-hour economic markets will promote prostitution, according to NPP. MetroTVOnline.com says Nakok arrests alleged drug kingpin, Whiteman wife, and 2 others in Kaswa. And as NPP has the edge to win 2028 elections, according to Afoko. And there's a Black Stars ready for World Cup opener against Panama, according to Carlos Queiroz. And there's also Haaland scores brace as Norway cruise past Iraq in World Cup opener. Party ruled out of Ghana's World Cup opener after losing Canada appeal. So that's it for the newspaper, the online portal review. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guest already here, Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., is former managing editor of the Insight newspaper, a veteran and a seasoned journalist. Indeed, he's an elderly statesman. Also joining us is Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications of the MPP. Please stay with us.
Tanumo onunchoni ha odama chiechele wekun oyanu tumo osole moji ake ubawo nani aya baba shoshoeshe. Amen.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, and Maniswing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
From the rich soils of Ghana, our farmers grow the finest ingredients. We clean, hand select, and carefully craft into bold, unforgettable flavors. And when you open our little bag of big taste, it's pure, bold, unforgettable flavor bursting in every bite. Enjoy the goodness, made with big care. This advert is FDA approved.
My new girl is coming over today, and I have to give her a treat of her life.
Hi. Hey.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? Fine. I got you a paint. This is Easy Waterproof Paint, the best ever solution for all sort of leakages. I got it for you.
Thank you. Easy Waterproof Paint can be used on any surface, being it cement, blocks, roofing sheets, swimming pools, and more. It can also be used as primer before you apply any paint to help provide extra protection.
Easy waterproof paint. No more leakages.
West Africa stands at a defining crossroads. A region rich in opportunity, yet challenged by fragmentation, policy divergence, and structural constraints that continue to limit its full potential. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic pathway to unlock trade, strengthen regional value chains, and accelerate economic transformation. But today, the question is no longer what to do, it is how to deliver. Join live on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table on the theme, Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. This high-level dialogue is designed to move beyond discussion and drive action, to identify bankable cross-border anchor projects that deliver tangible impact within the next 12 to 24 months. From transport and logistics corridors to digital trade systems to export-oriented manufacturing value chains, this roundtable will spotlight solutions that transform ambition into measurable results. Participants will address critical questions. How do we unlock financing for regional projects? How do we overcome regulatory barriers? How do we secure strong joint suffering commitments? This exclusive event, broadcast live from the Metro TV studios in Accra and convened by Dr. George Ejegum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBIT, will assemble policymakers under the theme, Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. The vision is clear. The opportunities are real. Now it's time to deliver. Tune in on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table. Mark your calendar and stay updated on this event via EBIT's digital platforms. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBIT, transforming ECOWAS communities.
Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. We had a great relationship. We're talking about some end details. I didn't like that he did an attack based on there's a very minor little thing with some drones that were released, and he ends up doing I saw that attack. I saw where that bomb went. Did you see what happened? That was a vicious. That was too much. You can do too much also. But we've had a very effective relationship. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. We had a great relationship.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. Remember, the show is live on 94.1 FM. I'm here with Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is former managing editor of the Insight newspaper and also a veteran and seasoned journalist and an elderly statesman. Uncle C, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show.
Good morning, sir.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And thank God for your life. Thank you. Thank you very much for making time every Wednesday to join us and discuss Ghana. Also joining us here is Mr. Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications of the NPP. Richard, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
How are you and how's the farm?
Oh, everything is fine. Except I'm a bit anxious today for the Black Stars to make us proud.
Right. We're going to spend a significant amount of time to talk about the Black Stars, but that's later on the show, because there's our sports team will be joining us at 9:45, so we'll do that as prelude to they joining us to talk about the Black Stars. So we'll spend maybe the last 30 minutes to look at our chances. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. But understandably so, everybody's anxious. We want the Black Stars to win.
They must.
But we're also a bit cautious. So we want to protect our hearts.
but once we're Ghanaians, there's not much we can do.
I know.
Just get out there and give them the best. If they win, yes. If not, we still love them.
That's true. That's true. But obviously, any time you come here, I like to always pick your thoughts on matters that or developments as far as the Middle East is concerned, because of your enormous knowledge in that area. Now, it appears that finally, calm heads have prevailed and some kind of truce has been achieved. Donald Trump, who's the president of the United States of America, put something out just recently. Bright, if you can please put it out, let me just read it verbatim. I don't want to, state anything from my mind. I just want to state it as it is. So, Bright, if you can just put this thing up, and let me just read it directly as Donald Trump put it out. Good. Now, he says the deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade ships of the world. Start your engines. Let the oil flow. That's the United States President, Donald Trump. He sent this one out must have been 2 days ago or so. So basically, Trump says that the deal to end the war with Iran is all signed before an official signing ceremony which will be taking place in Geneva this Friday. Now, with the full text of the deal yet to be released, in fact, it's enshrouded in some kind of mystery because all kinds of information has been put up. We don't know which is which, but there are still some lingering questions, as some people have said. You see, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has said the fight is not over and Israel has to remain vigilant, and that includes remaining in the buffer zone Israel has created in southern Lebanon. Iranian President Mahmoud Pezeshkian, I hope I got the pronunciation of his name correctly, said the memorandum of understanding, if implemented properly, will be seen as an honorable document for Iran, according to Iranian news agencies. The vital global shipping route of the Strait of Hormuz will be opened immediately once the MOU is signed in person. And meanwhile, with a deal set to include an end to military operations in Lebanon, many are returning home, despite warnings from the authorities that it is not safe. Now, we also do know that 2 hours before this deal was signed electronically, the Israeli military bombarded or attacked, Lebanon, and in the name of, under the pretext of attacking Hezbollah. Donald Trump is not happy about that, and that's why we played that video before we started this conversation. Now, the deal, in fact, the Vice President of America has described the memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran as it's about a page and a half, and it says very general document. Of course, you can give us details. Now, technical talks on Iran's nuclear program are expected to begin this week, while any sanctions relief or release of assets would depend on Iran meeting commitment under the deal. Now, one of the core parts of the agreement is that the International Atomic Energy Agency and the United States are going to help Iran to destroy the highly enriched stockpile. And that's something that is spelled out very clearly. Uncle, so what do you make of this latest development?
Well,
To start with, commentary on international affairs is becoming increasingly difficult because many of the players are driven by egoistic concerns. They are driven not by facts, not by reality, and not by principle. And indeed, some of the players have tended to be most unreliable. They say one thing in the morning, in the afternoon they say another, and in the evening they say another. So it makes commentary on international affairs extremely, difficult now. Be that as it may, we are told that this memorandum of understanding, which is strictly speaking not an agreement,
right?
A memorandum of understanding, stricto sensu, is not an agreement. But we are told that it is 1.5 pages. That leaves us nowhere. What's the size of the page? What is the size of the typology and so on? It tells us nothing. A 1 page can be foolscap, a 1 page can be quarter size, a 1 page can be anything. So it doesn't give us much information even about the density, of the memorandum of understanding. What is 1.5 pages? What does that mean? And so on. But let's put that aside. It has become also very clear that these agreements mean absolutely nothing to the Israelis and the American counterparts who have wreaked havoc in the Middle East. As we speak, close to 80,000 Palestinians have been killed. Indeed, about 20,000 of the Palestinians who have been killed were killed during the ceasefire agreement, when the ceasefire agreement was supposed to be was supposed to be enforced. 20,000 Palestinians have been killed. They've killed beyond Gaza. They've killed in the West Bank. They've killed everywhere. Simply doesn't make sense. There have been ceasefire agreements announced in the war with Hezbollah in Lebanon. It has never held for the Israelis. As of yesterday, in spite of the ceasefire agreement, Israel was still bombarding many parts of Lebanon, even sometimes attacking Beirut. Now we are told that Donald Trump is pissed off with the Israelis.
Yeah.
And in fact, Donald Trump describes the Israeli Prime Minister as being irresponsible. You understand? And pointing to the fact that some of the killings are clearly unjustifiable. Donald Trump says that too many people have been killed in this conflict. And Donald Trump is asking whether it makes sense, to pull down a whole apartment complex because one Hezbollah soldier is in that apartment complex, So even Donald Trump appears to be completely worried about the nature of Israelis' conduct of war in Lebanon and so on. We now come to the situation where countries which normally were supposed to be allies of Israel are beginning to raise important questions.
Yeah.
The French have banned a number of Israeli ministers and officials from entering France. That's a very serious indication. Look at the reaction of Spain, to the war and so on. So even within the European capitalist countries, a lot of countries and leaders are beginning to take a firm stand against Israel's, for want of a better word, senseless aggression in Lebanon and also in Iraq. Now, there's a lot of dispute about what is contained in the Memorandum of Understanding. If you listen to Turkish officials, if you listen to Pakistani officials, if you listen to the Iranians and so on, they're saying that Iran's nuclear program will be discussed after the ceasefire. Okay. And yet we have J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States of America, indicating that it is contained in the Memorandum of Understanding.
So which is which?
So which is which?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Which is which? Everybody says that that's the subject for discussion after the ceasefire, within the 60-day period that the ceasefire is supposed to hold. Now you have Donald Trump actually announcing to the U.S. Congress that the war has been over.
Yeah.
And yet he's entering into a memorandum of understanding to give effect to a ceasefire. So this contradiction, how do you resolve it? Is the war over or is it not over? And if the war is over, how come that they are entering into an agreement, for a ceasefire? And a ceasefire simply means stop firing your weapons. For now, only for a limited period. And that the war is still on. It simply doesn't make sense to me. Now, the other thing which is critical for me is that the war had clear objectives. Okay? One, to stop Iran from producing a nuclear weapon. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, because Iran had made that commitment not to produce a nuclear weapon years ago. Clear commitment not to produce a nuclear weapon years ago. So what was the validity? I mean, what could validate a war meant to extract from Iran a commitment not to produce a nuclear weapon when that commitment was already available? What? Does this make sense? I mean, it simply doesn't make sense at all. Now, if you look at all the things which today are being put out as victories for the United States of America and its allies, it simply doesn't make sense at all. Because before this aggression, this unwarranted aggression against Iran, the Strait of Hormuz was opened. It wasn't closed. You understand? So the Strait of Hormuz is returning to the status quo ante. It's not new. I mean, it cannot be victory and so on. You understand? Now, even if you take the American position that, look, Iran has agreed that its stock of highly enriched uranium should be destroyed with the assistance of the IEA and the United States of America and other countries. Even if we take that as something which has been agreed upon, what does that mean? Under the JCPOA, Iran agreed to certain conditions, including constant inspection of its nuclear facility. You understand? So what is new? So look, all of these lives, including the lives of innocent children and so on, have been lost in vain. They didn't bring anything new. This reckless aggression has not brought anything. Just what it has brought is increased misery for the Middle East and the Gulf. What it has brought forward is to show clearly the vulnerability of the so-called great powers. I mean, who would have thought that America would go to war for all these months and not achieve any of its objectives? Who would have thought that America would be so disgracefully defeated, in war? They told us that Iran's Air Force had been completely destroyed, that it had no military capacity. The last flare-up in the last week showed that Iran's capacity was intact, you understand, completely intact. The other thing that worries me is just the fact that assassination of leaders of rival countries has been normalized. I mean, we know that intelligence services used to carry out these assassinations. We know that Western intelligence agencies ganged up and killed Patrice Lumumba. We know about the killing of Salvador Allende. We know about more than 300 attempts to assassinate Fidel Castro and so on. We knew this.
Right.
But these were clandestine operations. They didn't even want to be identified with this gory, pursuit of objectives in international relations. They were hiding to do it. Now they do it so brazenly. Now they praise themselves for killing Ayatollah Khamenei. They praise themselves for killing all kinds of people and so on. So they're normalizing the killing of leaders and so on. And that's very dangerous for this world. I mean, that's clearly turning international law on its head and so on. Now I get deeply worried, about these developments. Now, look, Donald Trump appears to be so angry with Benjamin Netanyahu. From the statements he made, even yesterday, he appears to be so angry, calling him irresponsible, calling him unhinged, virtually unhinged, and so on. And yet, Donald Trump continues to be, Donald Trump and the United States of America continue to be the strongest ally of Israel in the committal of its genocide in Gaza and for all the atrocities which are being committed, around the world by the Israeli officials and so on. Now, one thing which is also very interesting, yesterday I was listening to a number of international media outlets yesterday. And even if you watch the Israeli media, it appears that Benjamin Netanyahu is becoming increasingly very unpopular even in Israel. Even people in his own coalition are beginning to question the conduct of this one, whether it has achieved anything for Israel. The hypocrisy is expanded, if you look at the fact that as we speak, all of us know, the whole world knows, that Israel has, nuclear weapons. Now, can you imagine that Israel, which has a nuclear weapon, is bombing other countries in order to prevent them from having nuclear weapons? Does it make sense? It simply doesn't make sense at all. You understand? But in all of this, I think that the heart of the problem is the Palestinian question. The heart of the problem is the Palestinian question. And if the Palestinian question is not resolved, I don't see how we can achieve global peace, and peace in the Gulf and the Middle East. The Palestinian question, simply put, is a question of colonial occupation and apartheid. The United Nations has passed resolutions to that effect, describing the Palestinian question as a question of apartheid. You understand? I think the 1973 resolution of the UN declared the Palestinian question a question of apartheid. Or it being a colonial occupation, we've known that all over the years. And so, how do we resolve this conflict? The international community came up with a solution which has come to be known as the two-state solution. And indeed, the Oslo Accord, which was signed by the Palestinians and the Israelis, clearly was supposed to bring this conflict to an end. And the Oslo Accord recommended or agreed that the two-state solution should be implemented, that a fully Palestinian state ought to be established. Now the Israeli authorities, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, say they do not even accept a two-state solution. What does that mean?
Yeah.
If Israel says that it does not accept a two-state solution, it means that the total annihilation of Palestine. How is that acceptable? If you read the Balfour Declaration, if you read the UN resolutions from 1948 onwards and so on, you cannot accept this position of Israel that it's against the two-state solution. If it's against the two-state solution, what does it want? You understand? Now, that is made worse also by statements from some Israeli officials who actually see the whole of the Gulf as the legitimate territory of Israel.
Yeah.
That's worrying. And indeed, if you look at the state of Israel, Israel is perhaps the only country in the world which does not have permanent borders. So, by definition, it's expansionist. You understand? Its borders today can change tomorrow, can change the day after, and so on. How can you tolerate such a situation? And I sometimes get so worried that we've not been able to take the stance that we used to take in the past, against all manifestations of colonial occupation and, apartheid.
Right.
To the extent that there are few African countries who are becoming paddy-paddy with Israel in spite of the evidence and in spite of the rulings of international courts of repute.
Okay.
And one of those countries, is Zambia. I'm horrified by the behavior of the Zambian authorities, in this conflict, But be that as it may, whether we like it or not, war in the Middle East and the Gulf, West Asia generally, would have serious consequences for the globe. And this war in the last few months and so on has affected the global economy. I've seen the IMF, prognosis for the world's economy. I've seen the World Bank's view. I've seen many other views which suggest that this reckless war of aggression is going to have very serious repercussions on the whole world.
And indeed, it will take years for the mess to be fixed. And I'll take a short break, but before I do that, and I'll bring in Richard and to pick Richard's thoughts as well. But let me say that the Good Morning Ghana program is brought to you by Metro Digital and also AH Cafe. I've told you several times that if you want sumptuous, tasty meals, but at an affordable price, please pass through AH Cafe right here on the premises of the Ignite Media Group here at Dr. Asa Street. We're close to the Alisa Hotel. Pass by and have a taste of some sumptuous, tasty, but also affordable meals here. There's almost everything here. And they also just recently added the bubble tea, which is also called the boba. It's become very, very popular. Everybody is talking about boba. It's because the back to the bubble tea, where they have what they call the taro milk tea, they have brown sugar milk tea, they have matcha milk tea, they have vanilla and custard milk tea, they have coconut milk tea, they have strawberry milk tea, they have vanilla and custard milk tea, and they have caramel milk tea. So when I return from a very, very short break, I'll pick the thoughts of Richard Ahiagbo, and then we would ask ourselves whether we should kiss this whole attempt to bring Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana a very, very unfortunate goodbye, or there's still some hope. We'll find that out when we return from the break after Richard's opinion or thoughts on the Iran-America so-called peace deal which has been signed.
A nuclear weapon. If they do, all hell will rain down on them. The one thing that's happening that's of note, frankly, the only thing that really matters to me, is Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. And it says it loud and clear. They're not going to develop it. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to do anything with it. And if they do, they suffer unbelievable consequences. Not just a little bit like, I won't even tell you the consequences, but the consequences are the ultimate consequences. And with that being said, I hope we have a very good relationship. But the biggest thing is they will not have a nuclear weapon. And that's the reason I got in, and that's the reason I agreed to sign.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. A silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored, So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger. Chicky chicky whiter. Chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
From the day you were born here in this place, you belong.
Score your dreamland with us this World Cup season.
We guarantee genuine lands because Ghana deserves nothing less.
The future is secure when you invest with Estate Masters.
At Estate Masters, we make every transaction smooth, transparent, tailored to you.
From Kaswa to every corner of Ghana, we are here for you.
Strengths are people, just like the Black Stars.
Together, we win on the pitch and in building homes for Ghanaians.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting another word? We could take close to 200 doctors. Oh, Piazza Nampi is there. Challenge today, we talk about day. We dare live.
He's in the area. He's gone.
Oh,
It's the Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpot. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Trying to Lucky app, Lucky website. Agent to ana dial *288#. Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo. Kitty one dickers, yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow beard your mame.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Lucky. Play small, win big.
The world's biggest football festival is here, and Ghana is watching together. This June, the Ghana TV Consortium brings you the FIFA World Cup 2026 live and free to air on GTV, Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, Adum TV, Wazo TV, Metro TV, UTV, Original TV, Garden City TV, Obono TV, GH1 TV, Ago TV, Onya TV, TV3, Max TV, and Sporty TV. 3 host countries, 48 teams, 1 unforgettable tournament. Follow every moment of the Ghana Black Stars journey, every rivalry, every goal, and every celebration. Enjoy crystal clear high-definition broadcast with expert local analysis and the passion only Ghanaian broadcasters can deliver. From the opening whistle to the crowning of champions, your football home is right here. The FIFA World Cup 2026. One nation, one consortium. Ghana TV Consortium, bringing you the best of the World Cup. Brought to you by Sportybet, Star Oil, MTN, Pepsodent, Kivo, Polytech, Lavance Tomato Mix, and Heaven Insecticide Spray.
You're still watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and I'm here with Richard Ahiagba, who is the Director of Communications of the NPP. And also here with us is Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is a former managing editor of the Insight newspaper and also a veteran and seasoned journalist. Richard, what are your thoughts on this, what appears to be a peace accord or a peace deal which has been signed between America and Iran? But the official signing will happen in that's in Sweden, or is it Switzerland or Sweden, one of them?
Geneva.
Geneva.
Geneva,
Yes, on Friday. But as you also are aware, there are some conditions precedent. First of all, the Israel must stop attacking Lebanon, and then also, secondly, the so-called uranium enrichment which Iran has would have to be decimated before the deal is. I don't know what all of this can be done before Friday, but it is what it is. So what are your thoughts? But in the meantime, prices are falling. In fact, international crude prices are hovering around $74, $79 thereabouts, which it depends on where you stand, is good for us.
Yeah. Well, generally, it's good for us wherever you stand, except that we don't control much of the situation, even though government would like to pretend they control and can influence. Anything for peace is good. Mm-hmm. Anything for peace is good. And these conditions that have been talked about are supposed to be the state of affairs.
Right.
That we're all committed to ensuring that we live in a safe environment, communities, countries, and all of that. And just yesterday, I was watching a documentary of some of the players who are going to be playing in the World Cup, playing for country A, country B. Meanwhile, they were born in this country, they grew up in this country, imbibed the culture inherently from that country until last minute they are switching to play for their country of origin. There was this particular case of two players who were born in England and grew up in England, and then now just switched to play for Iraq. And you can just see how it is that the world is drawing closer and closer. Somebody born, grown, cultured in English culture suddenly is playing for Iran. That person is a bridge to peace. And this is happening all over the place. And you've seen this young man who is supposed to be the Suzuki young man who is supposed to be, whose father is supposed to be a Ghanaian and mother is supposed to be a Japanese, playing for Japan. That tells you how inherently melting the world has become into one whole. And so concerns about war should affect or should be a concern for all of us, whether it's happening far away in Iran or in Ukraine, wherever it is, in Israel, in Palestine. I think we should all be concerned about that. So to the extent that something can be achieved for purposes of driving peace, I think that is great. And for us in Ghana, that's really is positive for us because it has the potential to affect the global price for crude and its products. So I think if this has led to the opening of the Straits of Hormuz, I think that we're all beneficiaries for it. But a key thing for me is that would this last? Because this conflict between the United States and Iran go way back to the Operation Ajax in 1953 or so. And then all the way 1979, you remember the hostage crisis,
right?
Where some students, Iranian students, seized the American embassy and kept them hostage, some 52 Americans hostage for over 400 days. And then subsequently, the United States, I think in 1984 or so, 84, 83, officially declared Iran a state sponsor of terrorism. And so there is this tension between Americans and the operation of or the state Iran, which goes way back. And I think based on what Uncle Kwesi said, I think the heart of the matter is Palestine. And until that issue is resolved and associated matters of global terrorism as we have it, coming to a head in 2001, thereabout, this tension will continue. And I think that the world, through the United Nations, for me, is losing its hold. The very objective that founded it and the very pool is supposed to have in terms of engendering global peace, I think that its hold is weakening.
Right.
And for some reason, we all need to be able to participate in that conversation, because this thing that has happened with Iran, Israel, and the United States was not their war. It was a global war, because the impact cut across, far away and near. And so for me, my hope is that the rhetoric will tone down, and then there'll be emphasis on how is it that we can work together. I can tell you that what unites us as human beings is far more than what separates us. And we should be able to focus on those rather than always picking and choosing the isolated matters that strain our coming together rather than the bond that brings us together. The United States suffered in this war. There cannot be any denying the fact. Iran suffered it, whether it's a result of the decimation of their Navy or Air Force or whatever aspect of their military that is decimated completely or partially, they have suffered. Israel cannot deny the fact they have suffered. The cost is real. And the question is that, do we want to continue? Does it serve anybody's purpose to continue on that path? Would it not be better if we achieve peace and everybody can live in harmony? That's where the world is going to.
Yeah.
If there is no reason for it, I don't see why we're playing World Cup. It has the element of bringing us together. And if we can unite on that platform, I think that we should unite in dealing with the economic issues, the political issues that separates us in ways that leads us to war. So I'm hopeful that ultimately there will be some lasting peace that will come out from the signing of this deal. I believed in the Obama deal that he signed with Iran, which prevented war and allowed dialogue. For some reason, you have a new president. That's the blessing and curse of democracy. Elections have consequence. And so you have Trump take over from Obama and then decides that he's not interested in all that, scratch everything off the table and began his own sketchy deal. And this is where we've gotten to. So I hope that cooler heads will prevail, and from here on, there will be peace, and that the world can get back to business. And let's build and solve the problems that are tearing us apart, and not deal with these war issues. But the question remains with what Uncle said, would the Palestinian problem be resolved?
Yeah.
That is at the center of all of this. If you go all the way far out, you always come back to it, because everything comes back to that question. What is the solution going forward? And if we can't find a solution, then we'll still keep having this thing. I think that for a long time, even way back, I think when I started growing up seeing Yasser Arafat, the question has always been, during Bill Clinton's time and all that, the question has always been, or the solution on the table has always been a two-state solution.
Yeah.
A two-state solution. That seemed to be the predominant solution that comes up every time, because that's the only reasonable thing to have.
Yeah.
You have a group of people, two people sitting and fighting, All you have to do is that separate them. Let them have their own autonomy, have their own right to self-determine, and let's all live in peace and have international law bind all of us and regulate our behavior. I don't see anything else that can work, but somehow it keeps becoming a problem. Why the obvious cannot just be seen by all to be the obvious solution. So let's pray that this brings some lasting peace to the world.
All right, we pray so. Now, the Office of the Register of Companies is informing all companies and business owners and the general public that the deadline for filing annual returns and renewing business names has been extended from 30th April to 30th June 2026. Now, the extension will give business additional time to regularize their status and also to avoid penalties. So, failure to comply by the new deadline may attract sanctions, including additional fees and also possible removal from the company's register. Additionally, the ORC has announced that 318 companies have been earmarked to be struck off the register in accordance with the Companies Act 2019. Affected companies have 3 months from the publication date to take action or make representations. So for further inquiries and clarification, or if you want to obtain a copy, kindly reach our call center on 0308 249 841. 0308 241 841 or WhatsApp Telegram 0599 525774, or connect with us on social media, which is at ORC Ghana. ORC, a trusted partner for business. So now I want us to come back home, return from Iran to Ghana, Accra, and Metro TV. I want us to look at this matter which the news portals sort of broke, and it has to do with Ken Ofori-Atta. Yesterday, whilst I was on air, somebody actually sent the information to me, and out here I want to say a big thanks to Samuel Brian Bobby. He sent me that message, but I was trying to confirm before we break it, and then by the time I said Jack, it was all over in the it was reported by the other online portals. It was all over on social media. It has to do with our former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta. The news broke yesterday that he's been able to secure a U.S. green card, and also he's been able to get some kind of a permanent United States residency. Now, I'm reading from the Daily Guide of today. So, former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta has secured a permanent United States residency following the decision of a U.S. immigration court to grant him a green card. Now, a statement issued by lawyers representing him in Ghana and signed by Justice Kwesi Mensah said the U.S. court had evidence relating to actions taken by Office of the Special Prosecutor, including the OSP's earlier decision to declare Mr. Ofori-Atta a fugitive from justice at a time when he was reportedly undergoing medical treatment in the United States. And while his lawyers remained in communication with investigators in Ghana, the statement added that the U.S. found the criminal charges in Ghana not credible. It, however, pointed out that the court's ruling was made within the context of United States immigration proceedings with focus on whether Mr. Ofori-Atta met the legal requirements for adjustment of status. Now, Mr. Ofori-Atta is facing multiple allegations of corruption and related offenses in Ghana for some decisions he took during his tenure as Minister of Finance under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led NPP administration. The OSP has charged him and 7 others over the revenue assurance contract awarded to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, allegedly costing the nation over 1.4 billion cedis. The decision to grant him a permanent U.S. residence strikes a big blow to efforts by the Office of the Special Prosecutor to extradite him to Ghana to stand trial. Mr. Ofori-Atta traveled to the United States last year and became a center of attention in Ghana and abroad following a decision by the OSP to declare him a wanted fugitive and later placing him on the Interpol Red Notice for allegedly refusing to return to Ghana to face the allegations made against him. His lawyers in the United States had been pursuing the possibility of securing a permanent residency for him after indicating that it became clear to them that their client may not be treated fairly if he returns to Ghana. The former finance minister earlier spent some days in Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention in Virginia, where he was held for overstaying in his U.S. visa. He was later released from detention on April 27, 2026, pursuant to a judicial order his lawyers disclosed, indicating that he was home with his family. Now, despite the grant of permanent residency to Mr. Ofori-Atta, the OSP has declared his intention to pursue the extradition of the former minister to Ghana to stand trial for the crimes he's accused of. The OSP in a social media post clarified that it is not involved in immigration hearings in the United States involving Mr. Furiata, but rather in respect of extradition proceedings against the former minister through the Attorney General as the central authority. The OSP states that the extradition packet is not before the immigration court, and the credibility or otherwise of the criminal charges against Mr. Furiata would be determined by the courts in Ghana, who have jurisdiction to determine his guilt or innocence. It added that Mr. Furiata still remains a citizen of Ghana and he is still amenable to be extradited to Ghana if so decided by the extradition court in the United States. Meanwhile, the Vice Chairperson of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, David Ofuso Opoku-Ansah, has indicated that a change in an immigration status does not shield an individual from prosecution in Ghana, suggesting that Mr. Furiata can be tried in absentia in the face of the latest development. Richard, what do you make of this? There was the fact that I noticed that the reactions were mixed. Some people were saying, well, oh la la, we told you so, that there was no way you could bring Ken down to face justice. And there were some also saying that, well, if Ken doesn't come, this can hurt the credibility and the reputation of the NPP. Where do you stand on this?
Well, Moro, thank you. But let me just address that question quickly about the credibility of NPP, and I get to Ken's matter. There is no requirement, no burden whatsoever on the New Patriotic Party in law anywhere, in any convention that has been established even before or in this Fourth Republic to produce care.
Right.
There is no such requirement. And so people should stop making that association with MPP as though that we have him somewhere and we can just snap our fingers and say, come, and then he will appear. No, there's no such magical enjoyment on us to do that. It's only mischievous to continue that narrative. Now, I don't understand what the special prosecutor is saying, unless he just is busy about nothing, because now his own very power to prosecute is being challenged by persons, and I just think inherently by the Attorney General.
Right.
And so I don't really know, maybe he's just trying to keep busy, because right now I don't see what he's up to. Our Constitution allows for someone to be tried in absentia. You have strong evidence. You have basis why Ken should be prosecuted. Go ahead and do it, because you have basis in the Constitution to do it. Now, just in case you don't know or you have forgotten, because I cannot assume he doesn't know, he knows, or you don't want to, and you think that Ghanaians don't know you can do, then this issue of Madam Sedinam Tamaklo gives you an indication or a wake-up call that, hello, you can prosecute the man in absentia. Do it. You have evidence. That evidence or those evidence are giving you sleepless nights. You have created an impression in this country, and almost every Ghanaian thinks that Ken has done something wrong by your public prosecution of the man. If those evidence you think are strong enough, will stand a test of court's scrutiny, take it to court, prosecute the man. On a daily basis, the special prosecutor has access to Ken's lawyers. It's not as if there is no access to the man, there's no connection to the man. You have access to his lawyers. Prosecute him. They bring you documents, you talk to them when you need to talk to them. You hear them when they issue statement, you read them when they issue statement. So you can communicate through them. Our laws allow that. A lawyer representing somebody is the person. So proceed. Sedinam Tamaklo's trial, after she left, I think in 2021 for treatment, her lawyer stood in and the trial proceeded. You have Ken's lawyers. Do it. I don't understand what this back and forth media smear campaign is all about. just to dirty his name and in the process draw MPP into it? Because our laws say so, that until somebody is found guilty or pronounced so by a court, that person is not guilty. He is supposed to be presumed innocent. So this whole business of trying to dirty Kent's name without going through the process to obtain that license to officially say that he has corrupted himself, I think it's unfair. I think it's wrong. It shouldn't be done to anybody. Nobody should accept that. And I don't know what his lawyers think about this. Right. But if it carries on this way and not taking the necessary action, maybe they should think about something, because really, it seems to me his own business is just to dirty the man's name, and in the process draw the New Patriotic Party into it. And somehow the government of the day is indulging it, if I should say enabling it, because as it stands now, there is no evidence that Ken has done anything. But this government, maybe through the Attorney General, his own talks about it and participation in the extradition process, just tells me that they are not interested. By the way, you see the conduct of this government. And there was a notice that we issued yesterday chronicling how we see this government engage in a certain selective justice delivery in this country.
Before you talk about that, you were asking about, you've been asking this very legitimate question, that why can't why can't Ken be tried in absentia? Yeah. And yesterday, we actually were working the lines to get through to Samir Darko to speak to him, to ask him this question directly. We've not succeeded yet. But yesterday, I'm told he was on a different media platform, and this is what he says. The Office of the Special Prosecutor says the United States Department of Justice has not yet confirmed that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been formally served with the criminal charges as legal and extradition-related processes continue to unfold. Now, Samir Darko says the absence of such confirmation means the formal service process remains incomplete, despite earlier court approval in Ghana for charges to be served outside the jurisdiction. He explains that the Ghanaian authorities are still awaiting official feedback from their US counterparts. Now, he continues to say that the procedural steps for serving a suspect outside Ghana require coordination between the Attorney General's Department and the United States Department of Justice and the established legal and diplomatic channels. Now, once a Ghanaian court authorizes service abroad, the request is transmitted through the Attorney General, who engages the relevant US authorities to facilitate execution. He adds that the process forms part of broader extradition-related procedures, which are still ongoing, have not yet reached the stage of formal judicial determination in the United States. Now, he says that, in fact, Van David himself says that the legal team is yet to receive any formal communication indicating the charges which has been filed against him. Now, he goes ahead to say that if Ken receives these documents, which contains the charges that have been filed against him, and he still decides not to respond to those charges, then they can go ahead and prosecute him in absentia. But for as long as he's not responded to the charges that have been leveled against him, as contained in that document, they have a difficulty going to court. And that's why they want to give him that opportunity, because they believe that when they go to court, the judge will ask them, what does Ken say about the number of charges you have leveled against him? If he said nothing, they believe that the judge may say that, look, I cannot go ahead and prosecute this matter. When we've not heard from us. So
that's a bunch of stories. That's a bunch of stories. It's a bunch of stories, right? Okay. It's a bunch of stories. How is it preempting what a judge will say? Article 19.3 provides you can try somebody in absentia, and in this case, you must assume that the person doesn't want to come,
right?
That he doesn't want to be available. It's their right to be there, to be tried. It's their right. They must be there. But if they elect not to be there, it is not your business. That burden is not on you. You can't carry them if they don't want to come, right? And now the man is in America fighting for his life, and you say he should come here. before you can try him. You don't want to do your job.
Right.
Sedinam's case, when she traveled and was not coming back, and the court decided, the prosecutors decided to advance the case, they made an application to the court. And how she was served, okay, she was served the proceeding to start the case against her in absentia. She was served through her lawyers. She was served through the last known address, okay, of Sedinam Tamaklo. They served her through that means. So you can serve him through his lawyers. His lawyers have been talking to you. They are here. They are talking. He didn't just say Frank Davis was speaking. He knows the lawyers. So serve him through that. And there's been constant reminder that deal with us. We are his lawyers. I mean, they issue statement every day. In fact, I can close my eyes and walk to their office. I can close my eyes and walk to the office. So what's his problem? This whole thing is talking about is a bunch of stories. It just indicates that they are not ready to prosecute. They don't believe in the allegations.
So when he says that it's a globally accepted principle of law that accused person must be tried whilst present.
Forget about globally accepted. Our Constitution in Article 19 says that you can try somebody in absentia. So why are you going to global when you have your own local law that gives you the right to do so? And there is evidence that somebody has been tried on that basis. And I just told you how Sedinam Tamaklo was served.
If you study our Constitution very well, Article 19.3.
Well, I don't know why you are interested in reading Sedinam stories.
Details how trial in absentia can happen. And the conditions are about two. One, when the accused and the accused is, when the person has been arrested and charged, has disruptive behavior such that placing him before the law will disrupt proceedings, or if the person having been charged elects not to come to court
Absolutely.
at all.
That's what I just told you. He said he's not coming. He said he should come. He's not coming. He's sitting in America. His case, his response to you why he's not here is that I'm sick. I'm trying to get well.
Right.
Okay? And as human, if I am in that situation, yes, I'll do that. Bro, when I had my accident, I had commitments here in Accra, things that I had to attend to. Right? I bought ticket, I was going to travel. That didn't make any sense to me. I wanted to get well.
Right.
Okay, so everything is off the table when your health is challenged. So the man is chosen, I want to get well. So assume that under Article 19.3, he has elected not to come. But you have a job to do as a special prosecutor. Prosecute the man. There's precedent, fresh from the books. There's precedent that Sedinam Tamaklo was charged on that basis.
Okay.
You understand? And so if you have all of that, and you are Mr. Sabinako, and you're just going on and on and on about global things and all that, then it just tells me that you are not interested in doing this whole thing. And if you're not interested, please zip it.
Right.
But if you are, go ahead, because you have the avenue. You understand? You want to be the man. You know, this one we're little, we want to fight, and then, you know, it's, well, they're holding you, and you say, no, hold you, and say, no, it's okay, now go and fight, and then you are somehow trying to get people to hold you back.
Right.
That's his problem.
Okay.
If you didn't know, Sedinam Tamaklo is evidence, and if you think that some global law has precedent over our Constitution, we have just shown you that by the nature of things, it appears Ken doesn't want to come.
Right.
So you go ahead and prosecute him. And what I believe is that if my health is challenged, I'll deal with that first of all before that. But is immoral. This whole thing is linked to a much bigger problem, which is an NDC problem. His John Dramani Mahama problem, His Excellency, that he has created. The appearance of selective justice is a problem. Okay, what are you looking for Ken to come and answer? You said potential corruption matter. And we're sitting in this country, when you took power on 7th January, there were people who were answering questions such as that. You came, and by fiat, you issue nolle prosequi to free them. But then you are telling me that you won an election on the back of oral. But meanwhile, the oral that you brought, which is Operation Recover All Loot, not some loot, or not loot from somewhere, but you created the impression you are in to fight corruption. But somehow you've shown up and you have been selective. So you are not interested in prosecuting corruption, but persecuting your political opponent. And so it gives room for the special prosecutor to swim in that waters, okay, as he is doing, instead of do the business of prosecuting. Because right now, the legitimate question you must answer is that why is it, this government, why is it that people who are standing trial for corruption, you have freed them? In some of the cases, the state has closed, the state has closed its argument or its case, okay? And so it's a question of the Attorney General. There's no work for them to do. Theirs is just to wait till a date is determined for judgment. But they say, no, they can't wait. But they have been waiting since January 7, 2025 till now. If they had waited, these cases would have been determined. And for the benefit of those people, the Openese, the what's called the Dufours, and what's called the Governor of Bank of Ghana, and all those people, they would have been properly acquitted if the evidence shows that, or be convicted if the evidence was available. But then you issue this and create this cloud of selectivity. The worst of it is now that we've been fortunate and the extradition process has worked, and Madam Sedina Tamaklo is here. The secrecy, the whole business of somebody who is convicted here now to serve the sentence that has been served, is being charged on, and we don't know what is happening. Where is she? Where is she? We don't know.
She's in Savannah, we're told.
How do you know that? I don't know. But that's naturally the minute she came here, and you see, it's not because she just showed up herself, and then they saw, hello, she's walking by the airport, go and grab her. No, she came on the basis of that charge or that conviction, that she is here to serve the sentence. And somehow we don't know how she's serving it. How don't we know? Why don't we know?
Why do you want to know?
But why shouldn't we know? So she is being convicted of a crime that affects us, that is supposed to have squandered our public resource. Shouldn't we be aware if she's punished or not punished?
You don't trust the...
Trust who?
You don't trust the system.
Which system? The system that is selective? You trust the selective system?
Okay.
Huh? You trust that system? Do you? I mean, I beg you.
So do you agree with the minority when they say they want to go and then see things for themselves?
You create the environment for that to happen.
Okay.
You create the environment for that to happen. Why people don't have visibility on what these things are supposed to do. When she came, did you see any picture that she arrived at the airport?
Seen anything.
Why don't you see it? Because the extradition process is not private. It's a public effort started by the New Patriotic Party in 2024 to bring her here. And in fact, again, on the matter of those who are kind of trying to square MPP with Ken, that MPP must produce and would dent MPP, when Senator Tamaklo, Madam, was convicted, did you hear us calling on the NDC, go and bring her? Did we say that NDC must produce her? No.
Okay.
You understand? The point is that we are at a point where I think certain things that must happen should happen as a matter of course.
Okay.
This whole hiding around some kind of lack of interest in prosecuting because perhaps you don't have confidence in the charges you are leveling against Ken Ofori-Atta, and therefore the best way is to smear, besmirch his character, and in the process drag MPP into it, must stop. The government's own undertaking of selectivity in the delivery of justice must stop, so that whoever has any question to answer, the New Patriotic Party, I want to be very clear about it. We have always been saying this, and Kwesi knows that, and you know that we will not condone corruption. We do not condone corruption.
Okay.
And so anybody amongst us who has served and has questions to answer, they must answer.
Okay.
The only thing we say is that while you need people to answer, there is the law. Do it according to the law, so that everybody is treated fairly. And I think that is the clarion call. But the state must do its work. This government must cease from the selective delivery of justice and ensure that the fight against corruption is against corruption, not against some people.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think Richard must know that the prisons are not zoos. You understand? A zoo is a place where beings are kept for public to go and view and so on. The prison is not a zoo. It's a prison. This whole clamor about openness, about the incarceration of Sednam, Tamaklo, and so on, doesn't make any sense to me at all. You understand? She was extradited. Government could have reviewed the extradition request. It didn't. She was extradited. She's here. The argument is that when she arrived, we didn't see photographs of her arrival. Who tried to take a photograph of her was stopped. Nobody tried to take a photograph of her and was stopped. Now we are being told that some people want to go to the prison and see her in the cage before they believe that she's in prison.
Yes.
Okay.
The Misha MP, Bafwejewa.
No problem. They are allowed to go to the prison. The prison is turned into a zoo. They go to the prison, they see her in the cage, and they leave. What prevents them from saying that as soon as they left, she was taken out of the cage again? And then it goes on and on and on. You know, no state, decent state, is run on the basis of conspiracy theories. You understand? No state is run on the basis of conspiracy theories. And Ghana cannot be run on the basis of conspiracy theories. Why? Is the minority saying that all of Ghana's institutions cannot be trusted? The police service cannot be trusted. The prison service cannot be trusted. The courts cannot be trusted, and so on. Is that their claim?
Yes, that's what largely, yeah.
That's your claim?
Largely, yeah.
That all of our state institutions cannot be trusted?
There's reason not to trust them.
So you don't trust all
I'm
of the
not saying that, but there's reason. They've created that doubt. So it's possible not to trust them.
Do you trust them?
Proof is necessary.
Do you trust them?
I'm saying that there's reason why you shouldn't trust them. There's reason.
My goodness.
Yeah, of course. There's reason.
My goodness. my goodness. I mean, if this is what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm going to say why.
He has issues with the state institutions. He's entitled to have issues.
Yeah.
All of the state institutions.
All of them, yes.
All of the people who are serving in the state institutions.
And it says he has reasons.
Some of whom are MPP, some of whom are NDC, some of whom are PNC, and so on, cannot be trusted. Ghana cannot be trusted. My goodness. There's a huge statement, a very, very huge statement coming from somebody like my brother Richard. What then do you think Ghana is? What then do you think that Ghana is at the moment? If no state institution can be trusted, then why are you here?
Well, this is our home. We can't go anywhere else.
What are you doing here? If nothing can be trusted in Ghana.
Where should we go? That's why we are working to unseat the government so we can restore confidence. That's what it is.
Yeah, but if nothing can be trusted in Ghana, how can you unseat the government?
We didn't say nothing can be trusted.
What he's telling you is that until and unless the MPP comes to power, we can't trust any state institution.
No, that's not even what I'm saying.
He says
but then,
the MPP wants to come to power.
Listen to me carefully. If nothing can be trusted in Ghana today, it means that you would never come to power.
How?
If everything is so corrupted as to be working in favor of the government and so how can you then come to power?
Right.
It means that no process can be fair. No institution can deal with you fairly and so on. Which simply means that you're coming back to power. It's impossible.
No, Uncle, see, no. I just gave you evidence why this government came in, says that they won election on the back of Operation Recover All Loans. Page 136 of their manifesto says that. Big thing. They won on the back of that. Even before President Mahama took over, forms a committee. Okay. Now comes to government. The first order of business is to clear people who are on facing corruption charges in the courts. Why
That's not
is
what
that?
I'm discussing.
But I'm saying, but that's why you can't trust the system.
You're saying that no state institution can be trusted.
I am saying that there is
Which
reason.
means that
of course,
you will never come back to power.
No. I don't know. That's your conclusion, not ours. I'm just telling you
that's
that
the logical conclusion.
No, your conclusion. That's not logical.
If
I'm
you
just
can't
saying,
trust the
because
courts,
we are working to improve it. Obviously, the democracy is a business of working to ensure institutional independence. It's work in progress. Now you get to a phase where there is a deliberate effort to weaken state institution. That is a problem. That's the job of democracy, to ensure the sustenance of our democracy is towards ensuring institutional independence. But we are at a phase where those institutions are systematically being weakened. We are talking to you about a police or a security system that apply different standard to opposition elements and different standard to government. Yeah, so you are refusing to
allow me to make my conclusion.
No problem. But you are refusing to see the points I've made and just drawing that, oh, I said everything. I'll make specifics.
I specifically asked you, Richard, whether we've come to the point where no state institution can be trusted. And you emphatically stated that no state institution can be trusted. You don't have any confidence in any state institution. Those are your words.
No, I mentioned a few, but you are now saying all. You didn't give me a chance to speak a few. But I mentioned a few. The ones I mentioned, the police, the judiciary, the attorney general, all the system that is going on. You saw that recently when Bono regional chairman was arrested, the kind of conduct they took them through, the judgment that is coming from the court, the animal farm judgments and justifications that were used to justify a ruling against the person. So I'm saying that
this is not a difficult exercise.
No, it's you are making it difficult.
Now you say that you have not lost confidence in all states.
But that was what I said. That's what I said.
No, that's not what you said.
No, you were asking me all, and I said there's reason not to trust Uncle Kwesi.
Richard.
Yes, sir.
Why? Now you decided to amend the statement.
No, I haven't amended. What I said, you were asking me
so you
all.
have no confidence in all state institutions.
I didn't.
Are you standing by that?
I mentioned the ones that we have issues with relative to what I said. The prisons, we don't know if she's there, so we have to go there and confirm. The police, we didn't know if they took her there. The government, we can't trust it, so we want to have proof. Okay. And that's why there's proof.
Now, which are the state institutions that you don't have confidence in? I would allow you to make that choice.
That's not the point. That's not the point at issue.
But that's the gravamen of your argument.
No. The gravamen of my argument
is based on lack of trust in all. Now you say some states.
I didn't say all.
Okay, so which are
I don't know. You should say what you want to say. The point I made it here whilst you were sitting. I am saying that we don't trust the government's selective delivery of justice. And in justice delivery, what are the institutions part of that ecosystem?
No problem.
Okay, that's you. So the issue
so which
is
are the state institutions that you don't have confidence in?
You make your points, because I don't know. You make your point because I don't know where you are going with this. Make your point, because the point I made is that you should understand what I said, that we don't trust that Senator Tabaklo is going to be treated the way she ought to be treated, because she came in as a convicted person. But we don't know where she is at now. Whose responsibility is that to ensure that Ghanaians know what is happening to her after she's been convicted? Whose responsibility? But we don't trust the people who has that responsibility. The police, the prisons, we don't trust it. The government itself, by its conduct of being selective, clearing its people and persecuting opposition element, we don't trust that it will. The government itself will ensure that conviction is served. So these are the matters that are raised. I'm specific, so I'm not sure why you are trying to divert attention from what I said and say that all institutions. I'm specific. So answer the question.
Diverting attention.
Because you are saying all, but I didn't say. I said relative to these matters.
Yes, sir.
Based on my understanding of what Richard is saying, he has issues with the prisons. He doesn't trust what he said.
Are you now Richard's
because I realized that
he will disagree with you.
There's a back and forth. I understand where he's coming from.
So let him state it himself.
Okay.
So we are clear.
Okay.
He's going to disagree with you very soon.
No.
So he should tell us which CCTV he doesn't
I don't know why Alkwesi is making. So
it will enable him
to make his point. No problem. Yes. No problem. So what I'm saying is that this government, we don't trust, will be fair in justice delivery. It's selective. And I'll show you reasons why. Giving you cases of NDC people they've cleared. Won an election to prosecute corruption, but yet being selective. Okay, so we don't have confidence in that, in the government. The institutions that are supposed to carry out the mandate of justice delivery, the police involved, they are not fair arbiters of the process. They will arrest opposition element, treat them one way. When government persons offend the law, they'll treat them different.
So the police, let me write it.
The police, we can't trust them. So in that chain, we can't trust them. And when it comes to Sedinam Tamaklo, the concern was that the prison is not zoo. Even though I didn't say that, that's your word. I didn't suggest the prison was zoo, so we should go and look at them. That's your word. But the point is that if somebody is convicted, the person must serve the sentence. And an individual was convicted in absentia. A process has brought her back. Not that she just showed up at her own will. A process has brought her back, which means that we knew she's coming. And the minute she comes, she must go to serve that sentence. But now, we don't know where the person is. We must know. We must know. And now that, because we don't know, and because we don't trust the government, okay, we don't trust that she is serving the sentence. This is the basis of the lack of trust.
No problem, Master, no problem. So, do I understand you to say that now, when criminal convicts are sent to jail, the public has a right to go and inspect them in jail in order to confirm that criminal convicts are in jail?
Yeah, logically.
Is that what we are saying?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
What do you find wrong with that?
I make no comment on that. Okay. If that is what we are saying, I make no comment on that. The public can make their own judgments and so on. I make no comment on that at all. That when people, criminal convicts, are in jail, we as Ghanaians have a right to go to the jailhouses to inspect them in their cells. Otherwise, justice has not been done. That's what we are saying. Fine, let's proceed. I have no problem with that at all.
But you shouldn't.
Yeah, I have no problem with that at all, if that is the statement you are making. Anyway, this morning I've read a lot of the stories about Ken Ofori-Atta and so on. And I'd like to dwell on this particular one, published on page 8 of the Insight. And a portion of it says, his legal team, that is Ken Ofori-Atta's legal team. His legal team, however, clarified that the court's landmark ruling was strictly issued within the boundaries of a United States immigration proceeding. Has nothing to do with the extradition request. The scope of the court's definitive decision remained fundamentally focused on whether Mr. Ofori-Atta met the necessary statutory and legal requirements for an adjustment of status to a permanent resident. That's all. Has nothing to do with the extradition request. You understand? So that's clear, and I've read same from other newspapers and so on. So that's clear. It means that the extradition process still continues. Okay. Now, I agree with Richard that there's too much theater in the attempt to prosecute Mr. Ofori-Atta. I fully agree with you, Richard. There's so much theater, it's unbelievable. This is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And Article 19.3 states clearly that the trial of a person charged with a criminal offense shall take place in his presence unless A, he refuses to appear before the court for the trial to be conducted in his presence after he has been duly notified of the trial, or B, he conducts himself in such a manner as to render the continuation of the proceedings in his presence impracticable and the court orders him to be removed for trial to proceed in his absence. It's clear. There is no reason why Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta cannot be prosecuted in his absence. There's no reason whatsoever. So all of this rigmarole, all of this thing about extradition request and so on, for me it's pure theater, just theater. And on this score, I fully agree with Richard. There is no reason why this is continuing. There's no reason why we're all being just disturbed every day and so on. If there is evidence that Mr. Ofori-Atta has committed crimes and so on, he should be put on trial in his absence. And the courts will make a determination of his guilt or innocence. The law states very clearly that no accused person has an obligation to assist the prosecution. That is why if you are arrested by the police, your Miranda rights are read to you, and your Miranda rights simply says that you have a right to remain silent, and so on. So even if you brought Mr. Ofori-Atta here, if you managed to secure his extradition to Ghana, and he decided not to help, not to talk, and so on, it will be within his rights. So what's all this noise and about extradition and so on? It's funny. It's just funny theater. That is what is happening. And I hope that somebody will do their...
You don't agree with this issue about his caution statement must be taken, he must he must respond to the specific charges that have been leveled against him, so that all of that will be taken into fact. He must also state that I don't want to come to court. Go ahead and try me.
No, the Constitution is clear. If
he doesn't want to.
If his conduct suggests that he doesn't want to come,
okay,
you can proceed. You can proceed. Look,
it doesn't say he must state that he doesn't want to come.
No, Article 19.
Yeah.
Article 19, subsection A says. It says. Let me start from Article 19. The trial of a person charged with a criminal offense shall take place in his presence, unless A, if he refuses to appear before the court for the trial to be conducted in his presence after he has been duly notified of the trial. It's very clear. Very, very clear. I mean, what can be clearer than this?
Right.
You understand? So I'm just,
All right.
But as for the charge of selective justice and so on, I don't know where Richard is coming from.
Okay.
I mean, clearly, I don't know where he's coming from.
Right.
Today, again, and this is not deliberately promoting the Insight.
Right.
But there's an article in the Insight written by John Ofori-Ansah.
Okay.
You know John Ofori-Ansah?
Yes.
Very credible,
Yes. Yeah.
highly respected Ghanaian journalist who works in London.
Right.
He actually works for the Africa Report.
Okay.
And he's written an opinion piece titled Free Speech Has Limits.
Okay.
Ghana's law reflects that.
Right.
And it deals with all of these issues.
In other words, free speech is not absolute.
He deals with all of these issues, including selective justice and so on. All of that is dealt with adequately.
I'll take a look at it.
I read it this morning and I was very, very highly impressed by this article written by John Ofori-Ansah.
Okay.
Perhaps it may be necessary even to read a portion of it.
Of the piece.
It says, I hope I'm reading the right portion. It says, Ghana's constitution strongly protects freedom of speech and media freedom. Those protections have helped shape the country's democratic reputation and have enabled journalists, opposition politicians, and civil society groups to operate in a relatively open environment for more than 3 decades.
Right.
However, the Constitution also recognizes that rights come with responsibilities. Citizens are free to criticize governments, challenge public officials, and express unpopular opinions. What the law does not automatically protect are actions that cross into areas defined as harmful or unlawful, including threats, incitement, and certain forms of knowingly false communication. And so
All right. Okay, so let me bring in. Let me bring in my viewers.
No, you want to
ask a question?
It's not a
because I want to
problem
bring
at
in.
all. It's not a problem.
Okay, so you see, Ankwesi, I agree that there cannot be any blank check issued for free speech. But free speech is fundamental to any democracy. And so when you begin to have conversations about free speech and the borders that must be put around it, you are veering into very dangerous areas where democracy itself will be constrained and be undone, because you can find anything insightful, any comment, just like even what the conversation we're having here. You can find a statement insightful if you want to. And the government, with all the powers that we have created, is capable of criminalizing certain speech as insightful, as hateful, as crossing the line, if you create that environment that it is possible to look at it.
Richard,
okay,
can I ask the question back?
So I'm just asking you.
Can I ask the question back?
Yes. So maybe answer mine.
Can I?
So you, with your experience, do you think that in this time, this point in our democracy, with all that you have in the background, that it is appropriate now to engage that conversation head on, to try to define the borders of free speech?
If I sit on this big platform, Good Morning Ghana platform, and I say that those who agree with me should take up guns and wait for you at the entrance and kill you, you will consider that free speech, for which I should not be arrested. Right now, as we sit here,
that's an extreme case.
And listen, look.
You said that's extreme.
It's not extreme.
Nobody has said that anyway.
Hold on, Richard. That is not extreme. One of the cases we have dealt with recently is somebody actually going on social media, threatening to kill the president and his wife, and to put their bodies in cocoa sacks. This is not an extreme case. This is something that has happened. One of the cases we are dealing with is a member of your political party sitting on television and actually threatening to burn down the headquarters of the National Democratic Congress. This is not extreme. This is real. Should I go on and mention cases we are being dealt with? One of the cases we are dealing with is a senior member of your party saying that a judge has no brains of his own, and that when any matter is put before him, he rushes to the Jubilee House to take instructions. These are the cases we are dealing with. Which of these cases do you think is okay? That if you behave like this, you should be allowed to go home free. Nobody should arrest you.
My advice to you was principle. So you are citing instances, principle. So the minute you engage the conversation, you open a Pandora's box where anybody, because everything you have said now, I can say corresponding things that can be seen as criminal. But in a democracy where you don't want speech and you are defining and kind of pigeonholing things, you can't have a democracy. That's a principle conversation I want you to have.
I'm saying that,
given your history and experience, I think it's dangerous. That's my view. It's dangerous to have that conversation.
Well, my history,
trying to define free speech.
My history, as I understand it, is also a history about sanitizing public discourse. You cannot be calling for freedoms irresponsibly. You understand? There ought to be some measure of responsibility when you call for freedoms. And I don't see how anybody can defend somebody who actually makes a public statement that I'm going to kill the president and I'm going to kill his innocent wife. And when I've killed them, I'll put their bodies in cocoa sacks. Why cocoa sacks? Such reckless, irresponsible statements ought to be dealt with. And dealing with such reckless, irresponsible statements cannot be seen as an affront to the freedom of expression or press freedom. You understand? Now, Richard, I agree with you that in dealing with reckless speech, political colors should not matter. I agree with you on that score. I agree with you that in dealing with reckless speech, it doesn't matter who makes the reckless speech and so on. They must be dealt with. I want to be convinced that in the past, or even in the present, there have been reckless speeches which have been ignored on the basis of the political color of those who made them. And one of the cases which have been cited by people from your party, your communications and so on, strongly, is one in which your presidential candidate, a Muslim, was portrayed as a pork eater. You remember? Yeah. It's been cited almost all the time. Well, I find that repugnant. Painting anybody who is a Muslim as a pork eater is repugnant in the extreme. But how about painting your political opponent, or your opposing political candidate as a drunkard? You remember?
Yeah.
That this whole pork eater thing was a reaction to a deliberate effort to paint John Mahama as a drunkard. Am I lying? If I'm lying, tell me.
Well, that's a fact, actually.
And the person who portrayed John Mahama as a drunkard was not arrested. The person who portrayed Vice President, then candidate Dr. Mahmoud Alhaji Bawumia as a pork eater was not punished. If I'm lying, just tell me.
No, you're right.
You know, in my view, both of them should have been arrested. And indeed, if the person who portrayed President Mahama as a drunkard was arrested, perhaps the second part, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was portrayed as a pork eater, would not have happened. You understand? So let's be fair. Let's be fair.
No, I would say so. The point for me,
sanity.
Yes.
Sanity.
So for me, I don't agree.
Sanity.
I don't agree, and I will not indulge that, condone it, or support it for anybody to paint His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a drunkard, or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a pork eater, and all of that. That's not the politics we're supposed to be doing.
No, that is dirty politics.
But I'm saying that
is very dirty politics.
So whoever did that, I'm coming. Yes. So whoever did that is a member of the MPP or NDC. It's a responsibility of the leadership to bring down a certain value system that corrects those. And I've been on record criticizing insult in our politics and all of that. It doesn't have a place. It takes away from the value and the essence of the conversation we must have. So we should do that. I will not condone that. So if you say that to be a responsibility of the parties to deal with that, but you see, that should not stray to the arena where you kind of constrain people. So those who have legitimate criticisms to advance will be constrained, because the fear in the environment says that you don't know what would happen. If you speak, you will be arrested. And the manner in which the arrest is orchestrated, it is very intimidating.
Richard, you would only fear if you don't trust that you can speak responsibly.
No,
you've been speaking the last 2-3 hours. Nobody has come for you.
Right.
Because very critical of government. Nobody is going to arrest you.
Right.
Because you speak responsibly.
Nobody's going to come. We're not talking about ourselves. We're talking about the vast majority.
Yeah,
and you know, ours is a growing democracy. Yeah. There are people who don't understand. And
we may not be able to clamp down on everybody.
Right.
But at least let's clamp down one or two people to serve as a deterrent to others, to learn how to speak and speak responsibly.
There's no
kill people and
there's
things.
no day.
That's irresponsible.
Yeah.
We must.
There's no day on which I don't criticize this government.
You do.
Every day. Why? Now.
On some issues, yes.
Oh no, he can't criticize.
No,
he can't criticize on every issue.
So you pick the issues, because I can give the issues that you should criticize. This selective justice matter, you should criticize that. You should criticize, but you say you don't see the point. Anyway,
But everybody picks issues. If you don't pick issues and you are just in the public,
it's a common denominator
against everything, good and bad and so on.
So that's madness.
Then people must question your mental stability.
No. Nobody will question if you say they are doing selective justice.
Just like everybody else, you pick the issues to criticize.
Everybody picks the issues based on your ideological commitments, based on your understanding of society and so on. We all pick the issues. What is wrong with that?
I said that selective justice, that one, ideological or not, is a matter we should.
I've just dealt with that.
But you say you don't know where I'm coming from the selective justice. That one, I think...
I've just dealt with that. I've just dealt with that.
You don't see where I'm coming from.
Yes, how can I see where you're coming from? I've just dealt with that. You understand?
Yes.
So it's clear.
Yeah.
Richard, all of us must understand, and all of us includes your party leadership, must understand that it is not acceptable to be threatening to kill any citizen. Don't talk about the president. Any citizen. It's not acceptable.
No, we agree. There's no problem.
All of us must accept that it is not allowed to take your words and twist your words, deliberately change your words. I mean, manufacture words and put them in your mouth. It's not acceptable. We must accept. We must accept that there are consequences for deliberately misinforming the public. We must accept that. All of us have to accept that.
Okay.
If it's done against somebody in the NPP, it is wrong. If it is done against somebody in the NDC, it is equally wrong. We must take a principled position.
All right.
That's all.
Okay. All right.
The recourse should not be criminal prosecution of such things. There's a civil angle to go.
If you threaten to kill the president,
I'm not talking about that.
Criminally prosecuted.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that. You see, okay. So Uncle say the balance we must find is that it borders on our democracy as much as we want to keep order. So if you are not careful in this era, what we have, in fact, in our history, what we have going for us is this Fourth Republic.
Okay.
And if you're not mindful and delicate with it in trying to find a good balance between ensuring, accountability and then the sustenance of democracy, you might end up jeopardizing both. That's the point I'm making.
Let's bring in our viewers.
No problem.
Yes. So Gideon Ejapon, who is sending us a message from Sefiwi also in the Western North. Sefiwi also, Western North MPP Regional Youth Organizer hopeful. So I like it when people declare where they stand. It makes people appreciate where you're also coming from when you send us these messages. Now it says, Moro, it is deeply worrying how Uncle Kwesi appears completely unfazed when death threats, malicious attacks and reckless allegations were being made by some prominent NDC members while they were in opposition. Today, we're seeing a sudden wave of selective outreach, and that inconsistency is not just noticeable or questionable. But the man just sat here and is condemned left and right. He says whether it was done yesterday, it was done today, wrong is wrong. So I don't know where you're coming from. Anyway, it's still democracy, so freedom of expression, so free speech. So I'll grant you that. If fairness truly matters, then standards of judgment should not shift depending on who is speaking, and consistency is what gives credibility to public commentary, not convenience. Gideon Ejapon, Sefiwi, also MPP Regional Hopeful. Now, Mansa Musa says that the Ken Ofori-Atta saga versus dual citizenship debate. Are you still advocating the persons holding dual citizenship to be allowed to take up sensitive public position? Tell me why you still think people who have dual citizen status be allowed to take up ministerial positions. Mansa Musa, Professor Kwasi will come after you. So be careful. But he continues to say, more, my question is that Ken Ofori-Atta did not run the country's economy alone, single-handedly. He managed Ghana's finances with many others, those with whom he worked with. 1, what was their role? 2, what they knew. 3, what they know. 4, have they been investigated or been investigated? 5, are those former state administrators cooperating with investigating authorities? 5, have investigations proven that Ken Ofori-Atta's deputies and other senior appointed members of the EMT had no part and therefore cannot be called to give any accounts? 7, my last question is, what exactly are we looking for that requires Ken Ofori-Atta's physical availability without which investigations cannot or should not proceed? 8, now if a public figure is incarcerated, why shouldn't we know? 9, whose decision was it to keep Sophia Ekufu's resignation secret? Now, you have, how do you call it? You have preempted my next topic. Anyway, so Moro, we need a lot of transparent information from the current authorities. If economic damage was done or not done, we must know. Thanks and good morning from Mansa Musa of Voice of London Radio. Moro, good morning. Samir Dako and his friends and boss, Kese Jabin, just want to be heard and defend their salaries. The statement the OSP issued yesterday was complete bunkum. Kese Jabin's very existence as the special prosecutor has come to a jarring halt. He's merely dependent on the Ken Ofori-Atta case for his survival in that role. What ill will and selfish parochial interests become the only basis for a special prosecutor to go after someone? Time and truth will expose him. Ken Ofori-Atta does not have to be physically present to account for his stewardship. If the OSP is not the same person who was investigating a dead man, Sir John, where then does all this cacophony come from? Kisi is inherently incompetent and clueless. He's just feeding fat on taxpayers' money for nothing. Enough of these monkey tricks. Samuel Brian Wabeng from Accra, Awushi specifically. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm, he says, good morning, my brother. The USA can decide to grant Ken Ofori-Atta a residence permit or not. That has nothing to do with our justice system in Ghana. Ken Ofori-Atta can run, but he cannot hide. The reality will catch up with him. The Office of AG and the Office of OSP must make sure that Ken Ofori-Atta is brought home to face justice. It is clear Ken Ofori-Atta is running away from accountability and he must not be allowed to do so. I'm even sad to see that functionaries of NPP are happy because Ken has been granted a resident permit. Mr. Hanan and the wife, Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, Chairman Wuntumi, and other members of NPP are all in Ghana facing the justice system. So Ken alone is avoiding accountability. $98 million of the national criteria which did not see the light of day in my mind. This one here from Kojo Chumbuafo. Kojo Chumbuafo says, good morning, Moro. I never knew that convicts are now circus animals, that people like Richard Ahiamwa can buy a ticket to go and objectify. Richard, if you're looking for Sedina, go to the office of Banom and Bailey and buy your ticket. Make sure you buy a ring side ticket. Have some shame.
He's making light of a very serious matter.
Davis Carter from Accra says, good morning, Moro. We should be careful as we downgrade our institutions when we're in opposition. Richard should be careful of his utterance because the NPP will one day come to power. So, should I say I don't trust the state institutions when the NPP is in power? Kwabena Sapon of the NPP says Pratt wanted to take a picture of the African Regent Hotel, asking why he did not want to do that. I don't recall him saying that he won't take a picture of the African Regent Hotel. I don't recall he said, unless of course it's something you're telling us that you
I did not want to do.
He said you wanted to take, you did not want to take a picture of the African Regent Hotel. I don't know what he means by that.
Oh.
Did you ever attempt to take what has been termed as the
one shot campaign?
Yes.
I actually took the picture. I have the picture in my office.
Oh, during the protest?
Yes, I took the pictures in my office.
Okay. He thought Kwabena Sapon thought you didn't take it, so he wanted to know why you didn't take it.
No, I did. I took the photograph. In fact, with a camera which was handed over to me by Alhaji Bature.
Oh, okay. May you so rest in peace.
Yes, it's printed. It's a big photograph of that hotel, and it's in my office.
All right. Prince Henry from Koforidua says that he's the regional communications officer hopeful of the NDC. The more the NPP keeps defending and shielding Ken Ofori-Atta, the more Ghanaians will be angry with NPP. The harm Ken Ofori-Atta has caused Ghanaians, of which many had passed through to die, will continue to harm the NPP and Ken Ofori-Atta. The NPP should be ashamed of defending Ken Ofori-Atta because the man has indeed caused pains to Ghanaians. The future is pregnant. Reverend Samuel J. of the PNC says, good morning, Moro, and your panel, Moro. It is important for us to know that everyone has a right to decide where he or she would like to live in this part of the world. But Moro, what is beating my imagination is that Ken Ofori-Atta who believes in Ghana and has served the nation so well, the way that they want us to believe. Why must he at this age seek for another nationality? Maybe my NPP friends can throw a little light on that. You've heard his lawyers say it time and again that Ken Ofori-Atta said he does not trust that he'll be treated fairly. It's as simple as that. This matter, they've repeated this several times.
He's not looking for another nationality. He's looking for a green card.
A green card.
Which grants him permanent residence, not nationality.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so Kwabena Sapon says I didn't read his message well. So he says, tell my friend Kwesi Pratt, the same way he wanted to take a shot of the African Regent Hotel. I still don't get the... That's the only thing he said. So, Kwabena Pacho, if you can write a proper sentence, when I say, this one is too scanty.
No, perhaps it needs to be explained to him.
Yes.
Journalists of TV Africa went to take a photograph of the hotel, and they were allegedly arrested and imprisoned in the residence of President Kufuor for a while. Okay? This is the context. So I then decided, in solidarity with the journalists, to also go and take that photograph.
You wanted to be arrested?
To see if you'll be arrested.
And dare the state to react. So that's what I did. It was a solidarity action with journalists of TV Africa who have been arrested for taking a photograph of the hotel.
Oh, okay. So he says Pratt wanted to take a picture of the African Regent Hotel, asking why he did Why did he want to do that? And that's what he's explaining.
I've explained.
Yeah,
it was a solidarity action.
It was a solidarity action. Kwabena Pacho, I hope you're fine. You're fine now. I'll call you Uncle
Africa.
Mr. Kwabena Sapon, big man. Musa Abata from Asawase says, reading Article 90 of the Constitution, which Mr. Kwesi Pratt extensively referenced, it is worth noting that Ken Ofori-Attah's lawyer, Frank Davis, has repeatedly argued that his client was not duly notified. However, in my view, Ken Ofori-Attah is setting a dangerous precedent. If public officials are allowed to rely on similar legal arguments to evade scrutiny, future office holders may exploit the same avenue to run away from accountability. Public service must go hand in hand with responsibility and accountability to the people. My regards to your Forestry Commission. That's from Musa Abata from So. And that's why people are calling for a public policy that says that once you serve in an administration, loses power, you should stay in this country at least for 1 more year. Until you are cleaned, everything is fine, there's no issue, you are kosher before you're allowed to travel.
A violation of their rights.
Yes, that is what some people are advocating, that we must get to that point.
Well, anyway, if they sign up to it, it cannot be a violation.
Yes. Now, Alfred Kojo Tredo says, good morning, Mora, and to your cherished viewers. Permit me to use your medium to wish the Ghana Black Stars all the best of luck with or without Thomas Partey. That's Alfred Kojo Tredos, the best replacement for the Deputy National Organizer position of the NDC. That's what he writes and sends. Now, Kojo Chumbuafu is back. He says, look, let this Ken Ofori-Attah advise us on whether we would allow people holding foreign passports to be allowed to serve in certain sensitive positions. At what point do we realize that this is a road to perdition? Imagine an MPP cabinet where the likes of Richard Anyagba and Ken Ofori-Attah, amongst others, are all ministers of state waiting to abscond with their foreign passports and loot as soon as government charge changes hands. Kwabena Sapon is back. Tell Mr. Kwesi that it is only me and him that are still going to stations as panelists. All those we started with in the Fourth Republic are out now. Oh, you know Kwabena Sapon? Oh, he's an old man. He's probably in his late 60s or early 70s. He's a slim man. He's a very staunch. I think he's a pharmacist or something.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kwabena, my salute. My salute.
Yes. Now, Samuel Brambwami is back. He says he's not seeking another nationality. He wants to adjust his status so that he can undergo medical treatment without having any issues with ICE.
Absolutely.
That's the whole idea.
But
Kwabena, thanks for that message.
Moro, do you have a minute?
Just a minute. I need to finish with this. Now, Carlos Obodojojo, Carlos, your messages are too long. Abba, please make it.
He has a lot to say.
Yes. Now he says, I agree with Richard to some extent regarding what he was saying. Richard himself was involved in an alleged electoral malpractice for which many believe he should have been arrested and prosecuted. However, the state handled the matter differently. Therefore, when he speaks on such issues, he's speaking from experience based on what happened under his government. That said, the opposition MPP is failing in its communication strategy. Richard is sitting there wasting our time. Electricity and energy. He speaks at length, but his communication and arguments do not make any sense. He constantly interrupts discussions to create the impression that he's making a strong point, when in reality he's not. I believe the government must take the bull by the horn and urge the MPP to encourage their former finance minister to come forward and account for their stewardship. Carlos, and I say, God bless you. Let me end with this one. Papa Bisu says that Ken Ofori-Attah is running away from accountability and is getting a permanent residence in the USA. It means the MPP element can't be trusted to take over the leadership in ruling this country again because they will embezzle hard-earned taxpayers' cash and run away from accountability to the detriment of majority of suffering Ghanaians. Away with the MPP anytime, any day. I salute President John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Julius Deborah and Governor, BOG, Dr. Johnson Pandit Isiama for their good job. Papa Bisu from Spintex sends that message. And I end with this one from McLean, who is sending us a message from Seshi. The NDC government hurriedly filed multiple nolle prosequi just to walk away from serious cases involving their own former appointees who were already standing trial under the previous administration. At the same time, they are suddenly very energetic when it comes to pursuing and prosecuting members of the NPP, and that's the pattern we're seeing now. A government that's truly serious about fighting corruption does not pick and choose who to prosecute and who to protect. You don't fight corruption by protecting your own and chasing your opponents. What is happening now is nothing but selective justice in broad daylight, where the law is applied with one hand for one side and another hand for the other side. Boro, this is not an accountability, but it is becoming an orchestrated political witch hunt. This is designed to intimidate, weaken, and silence the MPP members. MD Seshi Wioso, that's McLean Desmond. That is the thing.
Well,
Granted, it says, please let Richard confirm this for us. 1, granted permanent residency in the United States. 1 and 2, a U.S. court stops extradition proceedings. 3, Interpol has called to apologize to Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta because, yes, it was trending yesterday. Do you know anything about this, that Interpol had actually called to apologize to Ken for putting him on the radar? It's fake news.
Yeah.
It's fake news, okay. As for the permanent residency in the United States, I think that's true.
Yeah. No, so now a process has been granted.
They're granted.
Yes.
Okay.
His application has been granted, so he'll go on.
It will take some time.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Kwabena Asamoah is actually a chemical engineer. Thank you, Kwabena, for that. All right. So unfortunately, we have to take a break.
Just a few.
Yes. Do this in just a minute.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just a point.
Okay.
And sometimes, Moro, please, when your texters, you are reading their message, and if it's something that is already addressed, just you can either not read it because the thing has been addressed, specifically with Ankwesi's position that he'd already said. Perhaps the message came in before he made that position. Now, when I started my presentation, I said that the New Patriotic Party is under no compulsion, has no responsibility under any law, convention, or norm in Ghana to be responsible to produce Ken Ofori-Atta. But one of your texters, I don't remember his name, but said that the NPP, if we were defending, we are shielding, we are not shielding, we are not defending at all. All my argument this morning has been about how due process must be allowed, how we must end selective justice and all of that. So that's the point. We are not interested in saying that Ken should not come and answer. And I've actually shown the special prosecutor and Ankwesi reinforced that Article 19.3 empowers you to prosecute him and do so. Nobody is stopping you. Right. And then also there's this thing that maybe, there's, traveling or passports would let people evade, accountability and all. That cannot be true.
Okay.
We now have shown in the case of Sedina Tamaklo that even if you run, there is no way you can avoid responsibility or accountability if the law finds you guilty. And the American Embassy, in their statement announcing the return of Sedina Tamaklo, confirmed that. Okay, so there's no borders. Right. Crime has no borders.
Right.
So that cannot be a situation to say this government, if it has anybody, whether it is me, anybody who's anywhere else, that they have reason, that by reason of their service to this country, they have abused their office, they can get them to come.
Right.
Even Ken is not excluded. All we need is for government to focus on fighting corruption and not persecution. So they can go through the extradition process and bring Ken here.
All right.
Okay, so let's get that.
Right,
so please, my pleading to you,
right.
if a test comes in and the issue has been addressed, don't read it because it just goes on and then it doesn't make any contribution to the matter.
So Mystic Wonder Avocor, you are the one who is sitting here promoting free speech.
Yeah.
It's free speech.
You have an objector? Which one?
Oh, it's free speech.
Which one?
If the person believes that...
That's redundancy.
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 So I should stop the person from speaking?
No, but the matter he's raising is free speech has been addressed.
All right. So Mr. Wonderhooker inside in Sawabe Dwejiri says, good morning to you and your panel members. The NPP has not prosecuted their own before, and yet they have the temerity and testicular muscles. Hey, Brofo. To cry about selective justice and also don't have confidence in our government institutions. Hey, MPP, Ken Ofori-Atta should be tried in absentia. If guilty, his property must be confiscated since he's refused to come and face the charges. Never again in this nepotistic, with this nepotistic nation records. My regards to Honorable Mark Tete, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman, hopeful for the NDC. All right. Now, it says, please ask Mr. Kwesi. Mr. Kwabena Asamoah is back. He's an old man, so please bear with him.
There's no problem.
He says, those statements he made that resulted in his harassment and shit bombing and the rest, were those statements reckless and or criminal? Please ask him now for all of us. I don't know what statements he's referring to, or unless you have an idea.
That I made in the past. I mean, for example, one of the statements that I made, which led to my imprisonment for 6 months,
was
simply that the PNDC government was deceiving the people of Ghana with statistics.
Oh, okay.
And that behind the statistics lay the real facts of suffering and so on.
Ah, that was your crime.
Is this a crime?
No, it's not a crime. But then it was a crime because it was not a democracy. And that's why we must defend that now, that we don't get back to that point.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Angwezi, you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Carlson says hello. Sounds familiar?
Yeah. Sounds very, very familiar.
Yes.
I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yes. He says he's been watching the show, but today he just can't help it, so he says he just wants to say hello to it.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen him for a very long time.
Yeah, I think that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Charlie, big man before. Yeah, big man.
Once
Mr.
a big
Carlson.
man. Once a big man, always a big man. Yeah.
Anyway, so let's do this, gentlemen. We'll do some sports. Before we do some sports, we have been very forthright in commending the Zoom Lion group, Zoom Lion Company, for doing some wonderful things here as far as taking care of our sanitation problems in this country is concerned. They're everywhere now. There are more than 40 countries. And helping them to tackle their sanitation challenges and sanitation problems. There's a beautiful report. It's just a few minutes. We'll play that, and when we'll come back, we'll talk about the Black Stars. Bright, let's watch what Zoom Lion has been up to.
Our Achimota Gulf area, Biaya, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Nadmo, any Enumekwa Hodwa Akabom, so obetete gates a Hodromo, Waprapra and Montenesona a fee, said the Suyiri Amano Homenesono, what me Abrano Ase, Jumedia and Shaya, what the Eguaquemu, say and Cramantemu, Nitru and Crying. Obetete gates a Hodromo, Sutadia a Hodromo, Sa and so Edna Biaya, a fee, I send many in our baby at the everywhere Abwa, Ama and Shotwa, at me, at she, at the Aqua, now what she have Fatima for so. Now, Oba, Achimota Gulf area, Hanoma, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Juma, 4 Abba, Sanson and Fidia was on the Juma, what the Abba, was a gutters no obetity. And ye woman, a fear woman, everywhere, na a shotwa at me, echi, Amano Aqua. Now, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, while one homo de pa ewo awuninie ensem emu ewo omemu sega Zoom Lion Ghana Limited ebebo aze ewo memu no eba no aprapra empotemu awuninie ho ensem si ebesesa enwura sanso ana bia ya bola aboa peso enka ne ye kan landfield ni nyina no Zoom Lion Ghana Limited hwese obeyiri nyina ede afri ho ama wode enwumakuo bi aba eye Accra compost plant ebi ewo bia ya hodo a wodane enwura ani eye ne bibi foforo na Zoom Lion ba ye no so no wode efidie ekukudam aba omaimu a efa hunini ensam eho sa enso na oditimamufu nimdefo a wonimu de ewo eye ahunini ensam emu na eba na adwuma so dia ene Ghana fo pem ena enya adwuma ewo Zoom Lion Ghana Limited wo dwumbedi a wodi ewo environmental sanitation ene na siesie ewo oman Ghana emu na efri efempem mienu eni dunum no June 3rd disaster esiye e wo circle Zoom Lion Ghana Limited e de dredge masters ekuo e baaya wo de fidie ahye wo moma se fidie no beboa na yesu tade akese ye gates akese se odo nanom wo metimi atetimu ama enhweto a enya baabi atwi afa etie Zoom Lion Ghana Limited ni dwumadi a wodi e wo omemu hanoma e ban ahunni hu ensam timamufo wonimu de enimu ekonkan ebo homode wa ahunni ensam no wodi no wobod homode papa edimu akotene ama sabrepo watretremu akọ ama ahodo so wori woni kiremu ewo abibiman ahodo mu a Zoom Lion Ghana Limited ewo Senegal Kenya Togo Nigeria ene biaye ahodo ti se sia wo hwe gata yimu a wo ma shasia atitimu ama anwia na aya na ma enhweto a entumi nko ni nyina no wo mo ate ama sabre enhwio etimi enam mu a ekọ na Zoom Lion dwuma wodi so ewo ama hodo so no ni nyina efa ahunini ehu eti sabre de ne yeka se eba no adwuma ku ewo memu efa ahunini ensam ho si wo emfidie ni power do mo be ye adwuma wo mo mu ni mu de wodi sika ewura ahunini ensam a na ye adwuma ku Zoom Lion Ghana Limited ti sabre adwuma de yi wo ya kwa pem se ensuo ne etubetwa ewo afi emu na enya Achimota Gulf area nko a ye bekọ biaye ahodo a ye bekọ akotete gatas mu ahwe se ahunini ehusam bekọ so na ensuo so eto a enya baabi atwi ede afa eti mumma moni ewo so a eni eti ewo Ignite Media fidie ahodo nyina so Metro TV, Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, Metro TV online. Ye social media handles nyina no de ekoso bia na ye de beba abesomo na ye nyina emuo no na eye ahunini hu ensam no kwa befa so a afi ensu yiri na ano aye dene pa no ye bebre na se esa wo hwe afi atwamu ana ifia bia etwamu na Zoom Lion Ghana Limited eye adwuma na wutimi se ensu yiri no na no nya din sei afidie no ano ayedene yie papa ye hwe animu se gata ye titimu no bibia betumi akoyie ye free ha ye ko aboko bi enso ne akwa tete gata simu ewo hodom a ni nyina no efa ahunini ehu efa ensu a eyiri yen na yetumi ahwe se ye bebre no aswa afi mesansa afi ensu yiri no ano ayedene esi afi bia wuyi 2015 June 3rd arahusem na si na afi yiri no ano ayedene ho na akwa hia se Zoom Lion Ghana Limited edi dwumadi sei ebegugu akwamu atetete gates ahodo mu ama ensuo to anya baabi atwi ede afa de yesretima fo se mu awon ewa bonten odi odwuma na maka won hu bi sanso na nwura ye digugu gatamu na yehwe se efi ebo gatamu ma na ye bejeja ya boa ma ensuo to anya baabi atwi ede afa mama moni ni eti de kwaso bia na ye be sommo abrewa bi nana akwaso kumiwa Ignite Media Accra.
Wow. So those of you who've not been following the exploits of Zoom Lion here in Ghana, I'm sure you've seen that. I'm sure you've been totally impressed. Zoom Lion. And they're doing a good job. They are, definitely. That's a very beautiful report by Spendelove Kumiwa Joyce. Thank you very much, Spendelove. That was a good report. I like that. But anyway, congratulations to Zoom Lion Ghana Limited. They are in more than 40 African countries as we speak. Unbelievable, incredible story. I mean, you know, they are like 10 gods. They are gods. They're being worshipped in the other African countries. You should see. One of these days we'll play you, how do you call it, a report on what they've been doing in these other African countries, and you'd begin to appreciate what the whole Zoom Lion story is about. Fantastic job by Zoom Lion. Congratulations, Zoom Lion. Thank you very much. What would have Mother Ghana done without you, Zoom Lion? Thank you. And thanks to the vision bearer, Dr. Siawe Japon, for birthing this company, Zoom Lion Ghana. You're keeping our cities clean. Yes, we can do a lot more, but that will come with a lot more support, isn't it? Yep. Anyway, so let's come back in the house. You see me? Here we are. Ose, Black Stars, 11 p.m. Watch this.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era when love was service. A silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkits Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger. Chicky, chicky, whiter. Chicky, chicky, stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting another word? You could take close to 200 doctors. Oh, Bias and Nampi. Challenge today, the jackpot day. We dare live.
He's in the area. He's gone.
Oh,
It's the Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpot. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Trying to Wolaki app, Wolaki website. Wo agent to ana dial *288#. Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo. Kitty one tickets. Yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow beard your mame.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Play small, win big. West Africa stands at a defining crossroads. A region rich in opportunity, yet challenged by fragmentation, policy divergence, and structural constraints that continue to limit its full potential. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic pathway to unlock trade, strengthen regional value chains, and accelerate economic transformation. But today, the question is no longer what to do, it is how to deliver. Join live on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table on the theme, Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. This high-level dialogue is designed to move beyond discussion and drive action, to identify bankable cross-border anchor projects that deliver tangible impact within the next 12 to 24 months. From transport and logistics corridors to digital trade systems to export-oriented manufacturing value chains, this roundtable will spotlight solutions that transform ambition into measurable results. Participants will address critical questions. How do we unlock financing for regional projects? How do we overcome regulatory barriers? How do we secure strong joint suffering commitments? This exclusive event, broadcast live from the Metro TV studios in Accra and convened by Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBIT, will assemble policymakers under the theme, Financing Integration in a Fragmenting Region, Making AFCFTA Work for West Africa. The vision is clear. The opportunities are real. Now it's time to deliver. Tune in on 30th June 2026 at 11 o'clock GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBIT's digital platforms for the 5th edition of the President's Round Table. Mark your calendar and stay updated on this event via EBIT's digital platforms. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBIT, transforming ECOWAS communities.
Ghana, a nation built on the blood and toil of our forefathers. We have come this far through faith and unity. Now is the time to pause, give thanks, seek the face of God, and renew our commitment to the future of our nation. It is in this spirit that our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, invites all Ghanaians to join in the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. The theme for this year is Resetting Our Values to Build the Ghana We Want. Date, Wednesday, 1st July 2026. Christian service, State House Forecourt, 8 a.m. All must be seated by 7 a.m. Muslim service, National Mosque, Kanda, 12:30 p.m. All must be present by 11:30 a.m. It's time to renew our minds and build the beautiful Ghana we all desire. Come, let's stand together in faith, united for Ghana. The National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, resetting our values to build the Ghana we want.
Football has always been part of us as a nation. It has always united us, and it brings the world together. As the Black Stars start their journey at the 2026 World Cup, I want to wish them the very best. Black Stars, you have done it before, and you can do it again. The nation is behind you, and I am behind you. Go for gold. Go Black Stars, go.
We have the mother of our land coming to give us the best milk ever. In my 35 years plus in association football, I think and I believe this is the first time a sitting vice president who is a female playing a key part in our story, the story of the Black Stars. This is how special it is to have a female as a vice president of our dear country. In front of you is your own team, your boys who have grown to be men, and tomorrow they will show. Your Excellency, on behalf of the team, Yeseye Demasi.
We are excited, Your Excellency, to have you visit Toronto, leading the team from the presidency, and to come and cheer us up for the victory we will enjoy tomorrow.
First, let me thank our own Otumfuo for being here and for being so well represented. And I bring all of you greetings from our President, John Dramani Mahama, who wishes all of us well.
Yachaga